This is Global Tel-Link. You have a prepaid call from an incarcerated individual at the Centinela State Prison, Centinela, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel-Link.
Hello, Tito.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, Tito.
Yeah,
Hey,
what's
how's?
going on?
Hey, so I got your message. Let me get it. I'm gonna get back at you a little bit later, just because I'm about to start our live right now.
Oh, okay.
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 All right then. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
Okay. All right, James.
All right. All right. Bye. All right. All right. So let's see right here. So I've been missing in action. I've been, I haven't been on, and right now I'm waiting for the phone call to come in, and this should be it right here.
This
call is now being recorded.
Tel-Link. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel-Link.
Hello, hello.
What's up, James?
Hey, what's up? What's up, David? How's it going?
Hey, it's going all right, man. How the hell are you been?
James. What's up, Jesse? How's it going?
All right. How you doing, Leggy?
Man, you know what? I'm doing great. I got back from, this vacation. I did a bunch of, video visits, but, I've been laying off, all social media. I haven't been doing any live. So, it's been a good month, that I really haven't been doing any live. So, it definitely feels, good, to be back on, and have you guys on and get on with it, right?
Yeah, I know a couple of listeners were kind of like, man, where's James at? Yeah, we were starting to get some mail. Mm-hmm. Where is he? Where is the man? Where is James? We're like, well, you could just talk to us. Or like, no, we don't want to talk to you unless you go to James. He's the middleman. Yeah, you're nothing without your moderator. Yeah, we've talked too much already. James is going to get mad.
Yeah,
my name anonymous.
You know what? Man, I got back from vacation and I was beat. I was drained. I was nonstop. I was doing. I did numerous. I probably did about over 40 video visits. And that's what I've been uploading every day. Day after day. I've been uploading them at 6 p.m. We got another trip coming up in a few weeks up here. So, hopefully you guys are on board, and, I'm going to take you back to my mom's country, El Salvador, and we're going to be going to Centro America.
I'm there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just can't go there physically because I'm pretty sure I'm wanted somewhere down there. So. Yeah, I'm not. That whole Mexico, the back door. So. Yeah, I don't know if. Yeah, matter of fact, I'm gonna skip this one out. I don't even want to be on a phone past there. No, I'm just kidding. that will be all right, man. I can't wait to go and check out your homeland, man. We appreciate you. We appreciate everything you do for us, man, and everything you do for the listeners. We're on lockdown right now, Jesse and I, but we wanted to get up and we got the window covered still. We're just kicking on back, but we want to come spend some time with you guys. Maybe
Are we live already?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're live. Yeah.
Say what's up to the world, Jess. Podcaster James's voice.
Yes, I definitely.
Ask him to name a city in the world, and you'll know if we're live.
Yeah.
Say Canada, James.
Canada.
See?
No. Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, I just want to send my saludos to everybody that that listens, anybody that tunes in. I know a couple people are, kind of like, man, we haven't heard no lives in a while and this and that. And so, while we're here, presente, front and center, and appreciate James for doing everything he does for us, and appreciate the listeners who have been anxious to.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Normally we got our Sunday scheduled show. We haven't been on in a couple of weeks because James been real busy. Got a lot of things going on. Aside from being a world-renowned moderator, he also is a family man and a working man, and he has his day-to-day life. So all you listeners, relájate por favor.
Yeah, but I know. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, James, I don't know how you left me and Jesse stuck with Felipe, man. This whole 2 weeks. Honestly, he's been going bonkers over there.
Hey, speaking of Felipe, man, what's up? We haven't heard of Despensa on the vent. Where's he at? Didn't he know that we're going live today?
Yeah, he does. We can go up there and call Felipe real quick and let the listeners hear the little gerbil.
I gotta hear him all day. He's at work with me now in the shop all day.
Hey, Spence on the vent, Felipe.
Felipe me la pela.
Hey, see if you can hear him over there yapping away on the phone. Spence on the vent, Felipe. Hey, get your little gerbil ass to the vent. Hey, what's up?
Hey, I'm telling James about the breeze yesterday.
Hey, don't talk about the breeze. We're on TikTok right now. Hey, you're on special request right now from podcaster James.
What's up, man? How you doing, James? I'm sending my love, man. He said, Spencer on the vent, camarada, por favor. Respeta la venta y la nave.
Yeah. Hey, can you hear him, James?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Hey, yes.
Yeah.
So for the listeners that don't know, the vent system in prison is how we communicate. Felipe is my neighbor. He's about 4'7", probably about 90 pounds, dripping wet.
Hold on. Let me clarify that. The vent system is how the uncivilized like Dave communicate. Me, I go out on the tier and I talk to people like humans.
Yeah, me, I'm standing on the toilet right now, propped up by the sink right now.
Standing on the sink.
Hey, Felipe's standing fully on top of the sink.
Felipe's standing on the top bunk.
He's eye level with the vent. Yeah. Hey, so Felipe. So what's up? You got anything to tell the world right now? And this better be good, man. Honestly.
This is your time to shine, homie.
Like right now, I could be kicking on back on the bunk right here, shooting the shit with the peeps.
Hey, that's exactly what I was doing until you finally interrupted me.
Well, what's up, man? You gonna say what's up to the world or not?
What's up, man? What's going on out there?
Hey.
What they want to know?
Hey, how you like being in prison?
I hate it.
Hey, how long you been in prison, Felipe?
I'm going on 19 years in October.
19 years in October. Oh, I know. Yeah. All right. That's why he's all weird, James.
Yeah.
He's got that weird look.
Yeah, he got that prison look.
Hey,
you got, James.
Hey, ask him.
That's what that was.
Hey, ask him
James is asking a question.
Ask him how his lady's doing, because I know last time he was on the van. He mentioned that she was she was going through some things and
Undergoing treatment.
Yeah. So how's her treatment going? Is everything looking up for her?
Hey, they want to know
about young Desi.
Hey, he wants to know how Dez is doing, Felipe.
Dez is doing good. Hopefully, October 1st, she goes for her last chemo radiation. Hopefully, and she goes into remission. God willing.
That's cool. Yeah, she's in our prayers still, man. And
She's on there live, listening.
Oh, okay, yeah, she said she's good. Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, she
nice.
popped up. Dez is good. She popped up, so we sent a shout out to Dez. And
Shout out to
hey,
Desi.
thank you for taming this little rugrat right here, Dez. Honestly, this little motherfucker was out of control until you came into his life.
Yeah.
Honestly, I couldn't shut him up if I tried. Hey, but that's cool. We just wanted to bring Felipe in because he is a part of our world in here. This is how sound carries through the ventilation system in prison. We're all locked in. Felipe's locked in. Been locked in for 19 years himself. We're all sentenced to decades in prison. But yep, that's Felipe, and now you know Dez. All right, we're gonna go ahead and kick on back on the bunk. All right.
All right, you guys enjoy.
Philip.
Anything else you guys want to know? Tell Dan I'm ready when he's ready.
Well, I would like. Yep. He said he's ready for when you're ready, James, to tell a story. And also, you better end this with Dispense on the vent.
Hey, Dispense on the vent. Hey, gracias, camarada.
All right.
A ti.
Yeah. So that's,
Yeah.
Hey, but so shout out to Dez and everybody else listening, and we missed the audience. Anybody that are regular listeners that happen to tune in while we're on, We haven't been here in a couple weeks, so this is a little escape from this place for us as well, and so it feels good to be able to be back on here. We don't. Well, Dave has kind of an idea of some topics that we're going to discuss, so we didn't. This was a little unexpected. Like I said, we usually have our Sunday show, but we happen to have some free time today because today is modified program for some so-called training or whatever. But I look out my door and I see a staff sleeping, so it doesn't look like they're training to me.
Yeah, no, I'm laughing right now because when Jesse came on and he was like, "Are we live?" The fact of the matter is I didn't notify him. Jesse literally, we were breaking all the reglas in the book, all of them.
Yeah, we were full blown on chillax mode.
Yeah,
they were like, "Hey, are we going?" I'm like, "Going where? The door's locked." It's like, "Get your purse and your tacones and let's get up out of here." What?
Yeah. And no, it's funny because he was like, he's still kind of getting situated with the world right now, And so, but what we have, what we wanted to talk about, right? Cause there's a few things, right? So I'm sure everybody knows about the power outage thing that happened, or the systems went down for Microsoft. That sucks if some of our listeners were affected by that. We actually were. We got up today and we could not use the phone.
Or last night.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
And did you get hit by any of that, James?
You know what? I wasn't aware of it. I didn't realize it till this morning when I woke up. I jumped on TikTok and I saw people were talking. Oh no, you know what? I jumped on Reddit, and Reddit, somebody had started a topic asking if they had any issues for their flights, and I was like, well, something must be going on. And then that's when I jumped on TikTok, and then people were posting on videos, being stuck at the airport and being delayed for like 8 hours. Yep. Some people talking about they not able to catch their flight till Monday. So, and then I did a little bit more digging, and that's when I realized that their whole system went down, or they did like some security update, and it didn't go the way it was supposed to, and it just affected, it was like a worldwide outage when it came to their servers, yep. So that was definitely interesting. I'm glad I wasn't affected, because normally we're out and about, and I was just telling my wife, I was like, man, good thing, so far when we've been traveling, it hasn't happened something like that hasn't happened to us, because we do have a 5-year-old, and how do you explain to a 5-year-old that we're we're going to be stuck for a day or two or even longer due to something that's out of our control?
Yeah, it was crazy for us because we didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know if our messages were going to go through. We couldn't tell if sometimes when the phones go down in here, they're down. They're down. Yeah. We're stuck, So I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to go on today, but so when we called you back right now, it took me a couple times to get through to you, but it seems pretty consistent. So if it takes me like another extra few seconds to get through, that's what it is, But I think we should be good. But I was just kind of curious what it looked like out there in the real world, and then so I had a topic. You wanted to say something, James?
You know what? I just want to go ahead and give a shout out to everybody that's listening to us right now. We do have a few listeners, and I don't want to, overlook them. Right. We got Jaime Steeler fan in the chat. We got Miss Vero 559. Let me see who else do we got.
Miss Vero.
That's right. We got Chaparrita 805. We got Starlight. And let me see. And then we also got Frisco. Frisco coming in from Washington.
Hey, you found a way to say Washington. I don't even think you can say it like that. I don't know. I don't think that flies. I don't think that flies for every security. I thought it did until I heard you saying that.
Hey, it's
you can't. Yeah.
It's kind of like saying Houston. You gotta add that little e at the end.
No, you're gonna have to change it completely. It's gonna be like one of those things that you just change completely. You're gonna say Washington.
Who did you say Sandy City?
Busy.
Busy?
Yeah. You're gonna have to Washington. Yeah, you're gonna have to just take out the sh or the s completely. That's just what it is. I don't like the rules of Cholo Talk.
Hey, and we also got We also got Lex Luth. Connecticut is tapping in
Lex
too.
Luth. What's up, Lex Luth?
Lex Luth, we send ours.
Yep.
That's right.
Lex Luth is
always good to have that support there.
Yep. No, that's cool. There's usually another.
That's Connecticut Kim.
And then if you can't, there's usually another person with Lex Luke.
Yeah. Oh no. Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis probably at work right now.
Oh, that's not that
fly. We still got to give a shout out to the boy regardless. What's up, Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis, yeah. I know it's not
my guy. What's happening?
I feel like we're doing something wrong here.
Yeah. We can't be shouting. Yeah, we can't leave Bruce Willis out the broadcast.
Nah, all right, so for the
real quick though.
Go ahead, yeah. What you got for us?
So before we go on, speaking of Bruce Willis, every time I think of Bruce Willis,
you gotta say Bruce Willis.
Yeah, Bruce Swill.
Yep.
So we had talked to you previously, James, about sending out a bunch of taffy, right? You know, and so for anybody that's listening, right, we're trying to send some taffy out of here to try to hustle up a little money, try to get some money. We're trying to slang some taffy out there. You know, I don't know if anybody's tried it. You know, but everybody I know that has tried it.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Everybody in here, 60 seconds, like a real commercial. Make it count.
Everybody in here is prendido. That we give it to, that we sell it to. You know, so we're trying to sell out some bars out there. We're trying to get $10-$20 sticks out there going. So if anybody wants to check this out, we got a few months. You know, you could place your orders with James.
Yep.
And because we're gonna send a good little clavo out there for him, you know, and so we just kind of like, if anybody wants to pre-order, you know, any specific flavor, anything like that, just let us know. But we're gonna send some mangoes, some pineapples, a little bit of everything, you know. So if anybody wants some, you know, put your bid in. You want to donate to the cause, you know. You definitely won't be disappointed. I guarantee you that. It's got a little Mexican flavored candy, you know. If you like sweet and spicy. You know, it's definitely something different, you know, and it also comes with that prison nostalgia, you know.
It is coming from us.
Yep.
All right, so right now that they mentioned the taffy, I actually have a piece left. If anybody wants some, you know, send me a message in the DMs or email me or my phone number, you know, whatever way you prefer way of contacting me, and I'll be more than happy to, you know, cut this up and you know, send some of it your way if you want to taste it. I know I saw some of the comments on here, or at least one of the comments. Miss Vero puts that it's good but spicy. Yeah, it is spicy. I tried a little bit, because if not, I would have probably ate all of it. Let's see. I got 2 calls coming in. Let's see who it is.
This is Global Tel Link. You have a prepaid call from
Silas Johnson.
an incarcerated individual at the Centinela State Prison, Centinela, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hey, Silas.
Hey, James.
Hey, Silas. Hey, so I jumped the gun. I got on a live right now. Would it work for you if we push it back to 8 o'clock?
Wow. I'll message you and let you know.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that, Silas.
All right.
All right, man. All right. Bye. All right. So I had originally set up with Silas. Let me see here.
This call is now being recorded.
Global Tel Link. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
All right. Hello.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, we had a little bit of trouble getting out right now, but it went through. So, yeah, so anyway, any orders for taffy, hit up James. We got you.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to... Yeah, what you got, James? I heard the bell.
So
Say it.
I was you know, when you guys when the call got disconnected, I was actually mentioning it to anybody that was listening and anybody that was interested. I still have a little piece left of the taffy. If anybody wants some, they could go ahead and reach out to me. You know, whether it's via email, via text message, DM, whatever your preferred method of contacting me and reaching out to me. I'll mail out. I'll chop it up and you know, send some of your way free of charge. You know, you don't have to pay me for postage. You don't have to pay me for anything. You know, I'll go ahead and send it all on your way on the string. So if you wanna
I cannot believe. Go ahead. I cannot believe you
Taste test.
still
That's a
got
taste
some
test.
taffy.
James a better man than we are.
Yeah, I would have ate the shit out of that taffy.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know, we actually got some heart-shaped pieces that we made right there to see if we could try to do on the hobby craft, and they actually been sitting there for a while. There was a couple times that I was like when Dave left a family visit, I was like, well, he probably won't even notice it gone when he comes back.
Yep.
They almost didn't make it.
Yeah. So no, that's good. We appreciate you, James.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we heard that the mugshots are up there. We got the mugshots. We got Jesse and my mugshots.
Did you put the one up, Dave? That you sent us? Did you put the same with the logo in the middle and all the other ones around it, James?
No. So I only I chose one. So for David, I chose the one when he's in the brown, or not the brown, but the blue paper suit from July 25th of 2023. And for you, I use your the one that you're wearing the paper suit also, but yours is from 2016. So 3/4/2016 when you got a shaved head.
What color's the paper suit?
It's
Blue.
it's blue. Yeah.
Got that one right there.
Oh, that's a horrible picture.
Hey, and, well, the crazy part is we got to tell
Yeah.
we got to tell the viewers about these mugshots. So generally when we're in a paper suit, we've been on a bus all day. You know, that's what they transfer us in. So there's usually paper suits that are blue and red, and even the undergarments are made out of paper. Sometimes we can go in our boxers, but usually they give us like paper boxers too. So it's just a horrible experience.
How come you don't put it up like how like the one you sent us, James?
I honestly don't want all those pictures up there. I mean, we can give them a little taste, but
No, because the reality of it is what it does is it kind of shows a little bit the evolution. You know what I mean? Like you can see as the pictures, at least for mine. You know what I mean? Like it shows you can see like the age as you're aging in the prison process, and you can see. At least I can look at the pictures because I know I was there. I can't tell you exactly where I was for each one of those pictures. I could tell you the Corcoran shoe one, but other than that, I could pretty much I could pretty much say that I could see where I was at that point in my life. You know what I mean? Just by looking at the pictures, like, damn, okay, this fool was going through some shit. You know, but yeah, you should try to put it up like that, James, like how you sent us.
So okay. So the one I sent you is not the one I want to put up. Just because when I got your pictures ready, I just kind of just threw them together. I didn't really put any thought into it. You know, I didn't put them by date. I just kind of just threw them together, you know, so I could, you know, send them out to you. What I was doing a little bit earlier on, I was, you know, setting everybody's pictures up, you know, based on, you know, the youngest picture all the way to the oldest one. And also, what I wanted to do with that was, I wanted to go through it with
Esta
you.
llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I wanted to go through the pictures with you guys and kind of like have you guys tell me, you know, what was going on, you know, during that time in your life, and you know, what was the movement like. So I want to add like a backstory to it before I actually put out, you know, all those pictures.
all right. Yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
I
would have to get the dates from you because they all have dates at the bottom, don't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine. Yeah. They would have to. See, I don't see dates on mine, so I'm sure you have them.
Yeah, I only see dates on two of mine.
Yeah.
The most recent one and an old one.
So what I was gonna do was, so I was, because you know, you and David, I think you and David probably have the most pictures. David has the most pictures out of the both of you. But so what I was doing today was I was setting all the pictures up. I was gonna print them out and I was gonna mail them to you so you guys could have a hard copy, you know, in your hands. And then
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That'll work.
So I was
Then
doing
we can do a
everybody's.
show on that.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to.
Hey, what about my fresh picture? What about the last fresh picture I sent you? I sent you a fresh picture. Went out there, cleaned up a little bit. Took one in the gym. Paid $2 for a ducket or $1 for a ducket. What was it? $2, yes. Got all clean, and then James ended up finding the ones where I looked all quack back. It was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put that one up there. Now in July 2023, I was clean. That was actually when I got here to this prison.
So
I'm looking at this picture right here, James.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So another thing that I was gonna do was I wanted to print out those pictures in I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it in 8x10 or 4x6, and I wanna put them up on the wall. So every time one of you guys comes on, I wanna put one of those pictures right behind me, so it'll be on my backdrop.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'll be clean, man. Now we appreciate you. I'm trying to get a picture with me and Jess, but right now they're giving us a hard time about taking pictures with people, but sometimes they do them, Just a matter of the right time,
I've been trying to actually go out there and give pictures. They don't give much notification, and I'm not very photogenic. So last thing I want to do is go out there unprepared for taking pictures, because I'll be coming out horrible. You see all them booking photos, all the intake photos. So it's like Dave caught them on a good day one day, so he was able to go take that picture. And by the time I knew that they were actually having them, I didn't feel like coming back in the building because I was out there on the yard. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely get one though, so you can send in a recent picture.
That's cool. We appreciate you though, James, for everything. So today I wanted to talk about innocent people in prison, and even saying it almost sounds like a cliche. You always hear, oh, well, he's innocent, or these guys are saying, I'm innocent, I didn't do it, it was this and that. Let me stop everybody right there about my situation. I'm 100% guilty for what I'm here for. I did it.
So am I.
Jesse did it as well. There's no whodunit in our situation, and I take responsibility for why I'm in prison. Jesse takes responsibility for why he's here. We're both sentenced to indeterminate sentences with life sentences attached to them for 187, both of us. And so we can't really get into specifics on TikTok because they will kick us off. But yeah, so that's just what it is. I'm currently sentenced to 40 years to life in prison. Jesse was sentenced to LWOP, and he got his down to like 25 to life, I think. Yeah. And so we have some bills that worked in our favor, which means that I've been in for 14 years right now, which means I can go to board in about 8 more. I go to board when I'm in for 21. Jesse will go to board in about a year and a half. So we got, we're considered lifers, but we're not lifers, I guess. It's hard to explain. Before, when we first got our life sentence, anybody that had an L, lifers would be, you would die in prison. We knew guys that were in prison for 30 years off of a 7 to life. So when I got 40 to life, I was like, oh yeah, I'm cooked. I ain't getting out, So I didn't give a fuck. I was running around like a madman. Jesse as well. So now, even though we're technically classified as lifers, we are going to go home. And there's guys here though that are on our yard that are condemned. We have death penalty we have death penalty guys on our yard because there's a moratorium on death penalty in California, which means that they kicked all those guys off. They cleared out San Quentin's death row, and we got a lot of them here. So they are here on this. They are here on this yard. I don't know if any of the viewers are familiar with Carlos's story. Carlos Contreras. He was on the podcast. He is condemned still. He's sentenced to die. He's sentenced to die by lethal injection, but it isn't happening right now. So he would. I don't know what we would classify him as. What would that be? Just a lifer? A deather?
Condemned.
Condemned, huh? They don't have their own classification.
Yeah, they're condemned.
Then we have LWOP, which are actually lifers because they have no, they have no determined, they have no board or nothing. LWOP is life without the possibility of parole.
That's what I had before.
Yep, that's what Jesse had in that. Basically you're sentenced to die in prison. That's just what it is. So there's guys here though where it was crazy because this topic came up because what's up? We got someone at our door right now. Yeah, this is real prison going on around us, but so yeah, Jesse's taking care of it. So anyway, I work in the law library, and just in the past 2 weeks, it's been about a week since, but in a 2-week period, I had like 5 guys tell me that they were innocent. And I'm looking at these dudes, and I'm, right off the bat, I'm like, yeah, you're full of shit, man. And another thing is, I'm not the judge, I'm not the jury. I don't, whether they're innocent or not, I got nothing, like, what's that got to do with me,
Yeah.
And so I know that kind of sounds like, that might sound like a dick thing to say, but it's kind of like, hi, my name is so-and-so, I'm innocent. I'm like, all right, cool, thank you for letting me know that. I don't know what else to tell you, And so this happened, I'm telling you, like 5 times, James, in 2 weeks. These dudes were coming up to me and telling me this shit. So one guy, there's a few guys that go in the law library, and they just got desperation on their face. They're in there using the Nexus computer system and trying to find a technicality and an angle to get back into court, and So I seen that happen with a couple of dudes. One dude is talking to me about how they just came one day and just picked him up, and he doesn't know why he's in prison. He shouldn't be here, and he's innocent. I'm like, damn, okay, that's another one.
Mm-hmm.
So then there's a dude that comes up to me again after that, and see, there goes Jesse dropping shit. So another dude comes up to me after that, and this is, okay, we call him Exotic Bird. Now, I got to describe Exotic Bird to you. His real name is Derek Snowden. Derek Snowden's my boy. He's got the craziest last name in the world for a guy that's half black and half Indian from India. So you would think that, well, when I think of Snowden, I think of the dude that leaked all the the Pentagon Papers and all that. I think of that guy, right?
Yeah.
But so this guy's name's Derek Snowden. Cool as fuck. Like always tries to come and hustle sandwiches off and kitchen food and stuff like that. But he gets his hustle on, But his personality's hella cool. So I asked him one day, I'm like, why are you in prison? He goes, well, I'm doing LWOP for a double 187. That's 2 bodies. And he goes, I got LWOP. And so I asked him, well, how long you been down? He's like, well, I've been down 20 years. He goes, but I'm innocent.
Here we go again.
Yeah, so I was thinking, I was like, what do you mean you're he's like, yeah, I'm innocent. He goes, I did not do it. Looked me right in my eyes, Scout's honor, Bible in hand. That's all he needed was a Bible in his hand on one side and American flag behind him. You know what I'm saying?
A rosary in the other hand.
Rosary, a teardrop, coming down his freaking eye. Like he gave me that look like dead on, and I was like, damn, this dude, like, so I was thinking in my head, I was like, all right, well, here's just another dude in denial,
Yeah.
So I get to
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
This is a dude that I can actually get in a conversation with and tell him that he's full of shit. I know him well enough. I fucks with him. It's my buddy. And so
our family's full of shit all the time.
Yes, he does too. We always like,
when he is full of shit, I definitely let him know.
Absolutely. So I'm
like
a
used car salesman.
I'm hearing him out. He's telling me his whole story. He's like, just look up the law library because we have it on the apps on our tablet. We have a law library app, and his is a public case because he appealed his case and he lost his appeal. So they published his appeal results, and so his case is on. My case is on there too. Jesse's is on there. Our situation.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
There's no denying what we're here for. So I go on the law library app and I'm looking at his case and I'm like, damn, something in the back of my head though was telling me, damn, this, regardless if he did it or not, in my head, I'm not here to make that determination, but I'm thinking like, I don't see why they got this dude in prison. I just don't see it there.
And he said it too. He said, please read my case and you will see what I'm talking about. Don't take my word for it.
Yeah, that's what he said. And I was like, dude, I ain't got time to read your case.
Yeah, it took us a month before we finally actually looked.
Hey, I'm gonna call back right now, James. It's gonna cut off.
Pestered us.
I want to get into this a little bit.
Hey, and just to let you guys know before it gets cut off, we got El Iceman in here. We got Chubby Jessica. We got Happy Juarez 163. Yeah.
Chubby Jessica.
So, Chubby Jessica, Iceman, couple of our favorite listeners.
We don't know who you are, Happy Juarez, but what's
up? Hey, what's up? Hey, how's it going? It's good to be back. I've been missing in action. I haven't been doing any of these lives for like the last at least maybe like what has it been, like 3 weeks now? or you know what? No, sorry, I did one when I came back, but it wasn't working out that great. But let me see, Chubby Jessica, some questions for Jesse. Looking at your mugshot, what thoughts and emotions does it invoke in you now? All right, we'll go ahead and ask him when he comes back. And but yeah, so we're back. I'm gonna go ahead and get back on the grind. It's just I just gotta figure out a schedule that's gonna work. On the YouTube side, I've been releasing videos of the video visits that I did with the fellas when we were in Europe. I think I got about another maybe 20 videos, 15, 20 videos that I still haven't edited yet. I've been doing them at least like one or two a day, and I've been releasing them at 6 p.m. daily on YouTube. Um, so I've been doing that, and then I've been pretty much just working. The type of work that I do. I don't have PTO. I don't get any vacation time. So whenever I don't work, I don't get paid. So pretty much, I had to come back, get back on the grind and get ready for the next trip because, we got another trip coming up in a few weeks. We're going to be going to Central America and I can't wait, man. I'm going to go get some pupusas, some tamales salvadoreños, pollo campero. Woo! I can't wait. I was telling my wife that on the way, when we get picked up at the airport, that I want to stop in Oloquilta, which is the birthplace of the pupusa. She was like, I thought you want to go to Pollo Campero. I was like, yeah, but I want to go get some of those pupusas. They got I'm definitely gonna do some videos there of the different type of pupusas that they got, and there's some stuff that is gonna blow your mind.
This call is
We
now
got
being
another call
recorded.
Global
coming in.
Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
Let me see here.
Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello. Yeah.
Hey, sorry for the delay. Remember, it takes a few times for us to get a line out now. Ever since that happened with the system.
Yeah.
So just bear with us. I just I pressed the button, the phone app button. I pressed it probably about 9 times, and the 9th one I went through. So we just gotta keep hitting it,
Okay. That'll work.
Yeah, it's not always like that though, because last time I called, I only hit it once and it went through. So it's kind of hit or miss right now. But at least we're able to get the content out there.
Yeah.
Hey, Elias, man, thank you for your message.
Yep.
We want to tell you, man. Thank you for your message.
The systems were down today, so we weren't able to hit you back, but here we are. We live.
Yep. He's the reason why I was so adamant. I was like, Elias, man, says we ain't got no lives going right now. We got to get on.
We got to get in there.
We got to get on. We got to get in it. And your words are always they're always inspirational.
Yep.
Elias, man. Every time they come through, it's when we need them the most.
Absolutely.
Jesse gets up and he reads the message, so I can hear it too, and it makes us feel good, man, and we really appreciate you, man.
Especially today when we lost contact with the whole world because the system was down based on this Microsoft crash, So it affected us as well as everybody out there. I can only imagine how it was out there for them, based on that everybody's world is on the computer, on the phone.
Yeah, we were out of commission.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get back to you got anything you need to talk about, James, before I get back into my
So I got some questions from Chubby Jessica. I'm not sure if Jesse wants to knock one of them out right now, and then I also got a comment from Elias Man.
We're gonna give Chubby Jessica 2 off-topic questions for Jesse to answer at a time. So, hey, make them count.
Make them count.
Yeah. And they can't come back to back either. We gotta hear Elias Man's message too.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's right. Okay. All right. So
All right, go ahead.
So for Elias Man, he writes, "Welcome back. Really enjoyed your videos from Europe. I believe one of the last videos was from Tito, maybe a month ago. So yeah, I've been dropping those videos, one video daily at 6 p.m. and and I have about maybe like hopefully between 15 to 20 videos you dropping in the next, in the coming weeks. So, definitely stay tuned for that. And then we're gonna be having some more videos coming through from El Salvador, and then I might have to do.
I want you guys.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I want everybody to know too that because he was talking about Tito. Tito is the boy, man. I'm sure Tito has a lot of personality on the podcast, and he is all that in person. He is the boy, man. He's a funny ass old man. I love him to death, man. And I hope he makes it out of here. He's putting in the work. But okay, go ahead, James. I just had to say that, man, on behalf of my boy Tito. His brother was my Shelly for a while too, so I know him pretty well.
So I was gonna also what I want to do is when I go to El Salvador, I'm gonna have to bring back some of those Salvadorian tamales, and we're gonna have to do I'm gonna have to get a Salvadorian one from over there, and then when I come back here, I'm gonna have to get a Mexican one, and we're gonna have to do a mukbang.
Yeah, well, don't do that to yourself, though, because the Mexican tamales are going to win.
You know what it is. Don't put your gente on the crossfire like that, James. You're a better person than that. That's like bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Yep, I'm gonna have to get my.
What a Mexican power!
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my abuelita's freaking recipe back from my mom. From my jefa.
I'm about to send you a Mexican American made tamale. That way it doesn't hurt you so bad, prison style.
Oh yeah. We're gonna have to submit a prison tamale too. You know what I mean? Hey, Gabby gets off on those motherfuckers.
I make some bomb ass tamales too.
He does.
Let me get out there to the streets and I get the real shit. We get going down.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to send James the tamale with the homie.
Okay, we have. Hey, we cannot forget Chubby Jessica's question for Jesse.
Okay, yeah. We got it.
Don't know nothing about no Mexican tamales.
Okay. I gotta get back to the story. Like, it was just getting good. I was about to get into detail.
All right, let's hear these
questions.
questions.
Hear these questions. I can't go off topic too far.
All right. So, she writes some questions for Jesse. Looking at your mugshot, what thoughts and emotions does it invoke in you now?
I'm sorry. I was just thinking about trying to picture what his thoughts were.
So now that I know that what picture is up there, because I have a slew of mugshots that James sent me, and
he was probably wondering what he was on at that picture. Huh?
Yeah. I'm looking at the picture and I'm trying to figure out what influence was I under at that point in my life, But there's James, that picture that you put up. What's the date on that picture?
It's 3/4/2016.
3/4/2016.
Did you just come back upstate?
No, I had been back up. I was either going to SADF on that one. 2016.
What year did you get back up?
I got back up in 14.
Oh, 14.
Yeah. Yep. So I was either on my way to the 180 to SADF, or I was on my way to 3/4/2016. Yeah, I was either going to SADF or Pleasant Valley around that time. But man, what was my train of thought?
Well, if you're going to SADF C yard, I was on that yard. That yard, he was probably like, fuck.
Yeah.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
That yard was a vicious war zone.
Yeah, it was chaos. It was chaos, and the reality was funny that Dave says that is actually in the R&R right there. You remember SADF? You got to push your shit up. It's far to get it from R&R to the yard.
I walked to the whole to and from all those yards right there. You have to walk all your shit.
And you got to take all your property. It's a miserable.
It's like a mile, huh? Yeah, like, it's not like that's that long.
Yeah, it's hella far. They were pulling it with golf carts and stuff. And the good thing, we didn't have to pull all our property because they didn't give us all of our property because they brought it to the kitchen. You had the kitchen between the buildings, between the sections.
We used to use those little push carts.
Yeah.
The ones at Costco.
Yeah, and so anyways, when I got to R&R, there was actually a couple homies that I knew that were actually coming down from the bay, and they were actually in the cage next door. And the first one of them I ran into from Corona was like, hey, fool, I ran into so-and-so, and he had basically some cheesemen that he was, you know what I mean? And so in my mind, he goes, he should be coming down here. So by the time right there, straight out of R&R, I was already like, all right, let's see what goes down when we get to this yard. Let's see, you know what I mean? Because that's just how prison is. You know, you get from one place to the next. I already knew I was going to be going to the White House. I was already, you know, I had some red carpet treatment coming for me in that prison. But it's just obvious because I was leaving from Ironwood going over there, and just so in that picture, more than likely that's in R&R in Fat F, because IGI got me going into R&R in Pleasant Valley because they were like, man, what the hell are you doing here? You know, so I don't think that's their pictures that I got took in Pleasant Valley. So I was already thinking, because I'm going from a level 3 back to a level 4 180, and I had just gotten out of the hole in Chuckawalla, and they'd snatched me up from Ironwood, and so I was obviously thinking, okay, I'm going into a totally different environment. I'm going from an open program to a lockdown program to a level 4 180 where everything is a lot more serious. So for me, it's just basically I was trying to get into the mindset of you know, that you have to prepare yourself for, because it's serious. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they're not playing for fun. Everything's for keeps right there. So knowing that I was going there with a lot of business, you know. I mean, good thing is I was showing up right there. Almost in all those pictures, I had an asshole full of dope, and anytime you show up, you know what I mean? Anytime you show up to a yard,
keeping it real.
Yeah, and it's the reality. You know what I mean? Like, one of those pictures, and when you finally put them all up, James, you're going to trip out. One of those pictures, I literally had just shit a phone out and Glavo on the bus and had to leave it. You know what I mean? But it's just a crazy thought, like, to think the way we operated in here, that it was normal. We normalized that. So in that picture right there, more than likely I was on my way to Sad FC Yard in New Corcoran, and like I said, it was just and it was everything that I had anticipated, you know, getting there, because you get there and there's just a gloom hanging over those 180s. You know, everybody's there and hopeless and lost.
It is, yeah.
Right. So. Yeah, that I was just thinking, just preparing myself mentally for whatever needed to be, you know what I mean? Because it could be anything from having to get loose to, you know, again, I knew I was getting there with red carpet treatment, but nobody's above any law, you know. Everybody, you know, and given the fact that there was the homies coming down from Pelican Bay that were in this next cage over, were like, hey, so and so wants to talk to you, and whoop-de-whoop this and that. So it's like, all right, well, if anybody wants to talk to anybody on these 180s is when they're going to talk to you.
You know what time it is, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
He turned his prison wallet into an Adidas gym bag.
Yeah, for sure.
It's freaking, it's that yard, I think I told you about that yard. I was there in 2000, and I got to C Yard SATF in 2001. I paroled from there in 2000, and the end of 2002. One of the pictures you have, James, is from when I paroled off of that yard. But yeah, it's just different with what Jesse's trying to convey. It's just it's really hard to explain the level of the level that game is played up there on that yards like that. Kern Valley's like that. Tehachapi used to be like that. The Bay's like that. You know, those yards are. But Sad FC yard is just different. You know, when I was there, it was war. We were going at it with Central California cats. When back in those years when I was there. Okay, so.
All right,
that's
so
that's that.
Yeah. Okay, so we got one more question for Chubby Jessica, and then we got to get back on topic. Innocent people in prison. It's important.
All right, let me see here. Let me see. And then let me see. She asked, how do you feel about the person you were when that mugshot was taken compared to who you are now?
Embarrassment?
Yeah, absolutely. Dave, you couldn't put it any better. You know, like, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed at the person that I used to be. I still feel residual shame over the person I used to be. Like, the fact that I could sit here and say, you know, like that you know, my bus ticket was driving up to a prison with an asshole full of dope or a phone, or making sure that I had something to put me at an advantage. Like, to think that was the world I lived in, that I had to make sure that any time you went somewhere, you know, it was such a Shark Tank that you had to make sure that you showed up with something that put you in a position above everybody else, or give you leverage on other people. You know, like, that was the power dynamic of the life I was living.
Drugs give you that leverage.
Yeah, drugs give you that leverage.
We love it, always a little bit. You know, let's help. It's all a manipulation game. it's a way to sway the masses and stuff like that. So you go, you find out who's doing what, and first thing you do, you get them high.
Yep. Well, hey, James, I don't know if you remember when I told that story about how the dude came to my door and I'm asking him for a floor towel. They shelled me up with the homie Lino from Playboys, I asked for a floor towel and some cleaning supplies, and that was the one where I told you my boy Ray from Sanford was in A-Pod, and I'm asking for an outfit, and I'm asking, different little things. Oh, no, I asked for all that stuff, and they're like, nah, hey, not till tomorrow. We can't get nothing right now. Like, what kind of prison, what kind of 180 is this that you don't show up and get everything handed to you, like the essentials, cleaning supplies, floor towel, like that. That's how.
That fell apart right there.
Yeah,
Damn.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on here? And then as soon as after I rip my towel, we start doing talacha, cleaning up the pad. Once I get situated, hey, check it out, fool. Hey, does anybody right here got an outfit? And as soon as I did that, oh, hey, fools are at the door, like, hey, here's that towel, hey, here's this, hey, like, it just the whole dynamic changed. It's like, not, and then as soon as they sent word, hey, so-and-so's here, word got to, which was headquarters in A-Pod. My boy Ray from Sanford sends, hey, let them know that we're right here, to do this and that. We heard he was coming. And so now all the dudes in the pod, because some of these cats, I didn't know them. It was a shoe kick-out pod, so a lot of these dudes had been in the shoe for years.
What building was that at that time?
It was in 3 blocks.
Oh, okay, you're in the lower yard.
Yeah, I was in the lower yard, and I ended up going up to the upper yard.
Where'd you go on the upper yard?
To 7 blocks.
I was in 7 blocks.
Yeah, that was headquarters. That was the White House. So
when I first got there, it's crazy that we were in the same building, but when I got there, I was in 8 block. 8 block, I heard it's the hole now. Well, it was when you were there, huh? Yeah, 8 block, the hole. Yeah, when I got there, it was a regular building. The hole was on E-yard, E1. E1 was the hole. Yeah, E-yard. E-yard was the hole. Yeah. And so, I was in 8 block, and then I went to 5 block for a little bit. I went to 5 block, and that was like...
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
They ended up shooting me back to 8 block, and then that's when Marcel got into it with the Avero.
Oh, okay.
And then we ended up, that's what Little Man did. And
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
So yeah, just to answer your question though, when I think about it, like I'm proud of where I'm at today, and I just think about just the ignorance that I was living in, at that point in my life, and the reality of it is, like, as dangerous as that place was, as scary and as oppressive as it was, I was excited to be back on a level 4 in the 180. That's where my kind were. That was home. That's where my type were at. When you get there, you know what it is. Like you're around, you're around other savages just like you. So what you see is what you get. You get down to the lower levels, and you got a bunch of dudes shaking and faking.
Yep, we're watching the clock, James.
Hey.
Call back,
No, hold on. Yeah. So we got Fishler SoCal. He's sending his saludos. That's why I played the chicken right now to give you guys a heads up.
You should put like a splashing sound.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Splashing sound and like.
All right, man. And so just to let everybody know, okay? So I'm doing hey, what's up, Jaime, Steeler fan. Just so everybody knows, so I'm doing multiple streams at the same time. So I'm doing a stream on YouTube. So that's why if you're wondering why you're hearing names that you don't recognize, or you're not seeing on TikTok, or if you're on YouTube, you're hearing names that I'm calling off of TikTok. So I'm doing multiple streams. And on the YouTube side, I actually have a mugshots up of this gentleman up on the screen, and then on TikTok, well, I'm showing my face, so I don't have any mugshots. But so yeah, if you're a bit confused too, as far as what's going on, where are these names coming from, or what they're looking at, that's what it is. So feel free to jump in between. If you're on TikTok and you want to jump on YouTube, go ahead and take that route. If you're on YouTube and you want to jump on TikTok, or if you just want to stay where you're at, that's cool. Where's Javi? So Javi, I spoke to him yesterday. Hopefully I'm able to get on with him on a live either today, tomorrow, or in the next days. I've been working, so that's why I haven't been doing any of the lives. I've been overworked. I've been overloaded with work and whatnot. Hey, what's up, lovely sunshine? And okay, we're getting what's the rooster? I'll tell you right now, Fish Slayer.
This call is now being recorded.
Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello.
James.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
so
Go ahead.
if Fish Larry was asking me what's the rooster sound for, so the rooster sound is
That's what I'm saying. Same question.
The guy would let him know the big homie just got here.
Same question. Yeah, we want to know.
Hey, we're doing the gallo, let you get. Hey, it works for two things. It's to let you know that the time is about to run out, or I want to make an announcement. We had a special message in the chat, so I wanted to let you guys know before it was too late that I was gonna send the word down.
You got it all wrong. You got the gallo announcement all wrong. See. Back in the day, we did the gallo announcement, and now remember the gallo announcement, Jess? Trashines, popoyecan, y pan, o tripi.
Yeah, you're going to do the gallo,
You got to do it in Nava.
Hey, well, then you guys are going to have to put me up on game on that one because I don't got no Nahua on under my belt. I have zero Nahua knowledge. Hey, you got to remember, I never been to prison. I never been to the hole. I never been anywhere.
First, you turn a savage fish slayer into a lowly rooster.
No, hold on, roosters. Hey, there's some cold gallos out there. They fighting to the death.
Hey, but compared to a fish slayer, SoCal.
Hey, we see
this guy's slaying marlins.
He's out there knocking down 200-pound tuna.
Yeah, you got your rooster with some raspillos on his little claws, but what about this thing's got a horn made a sword on the front of his face. Yeah, that's who he's battling.
Yeah, he's out there knocking down swordfish. You know what I mean? This isn't a game.
This isn't a game. This is a way of life, right? This is life or death. Yeah.
Hey, Dave was like, do marlins yelp?
yeah. You gotta get we need a fish like a big splash sound.
Hey,
yeah.
You know what though? You got the right idea though.
No, that was
anytime
cool.
you're gonna jump on it, that's like a compromiso on the tira.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? If Felipe got to do it. If Felipe he got to throw the guy on the lambre, then you got to do the same thing, James, before you introduce somebody to the tira, and so that'll work. Put the little rooster out there. Hey, wake up! Hey, call gentlemen. We got your SoCal fish slayer on the linea.
I don't think James knew that I knew my Nava announcement. I was like, hey, wait a minute here. This guy can't speak Spanish, but he knows how to announce in Nava when he needs something off the tier.
Yeah.
Hey, I think you know what?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna need you guys. We're gonna have to do some audio clips with the Nahua. That's gonna be the intro right there. The one you just did right now. Before we start a live in the future, that's what I'm gonna throw up right there.
Look at you, Mr. Idea Man, Mr. Entrepreneur. Got the entrepreneurial spirit right there in this one.
There you go.
Yep.
Expanding. He's trying to cross the cultural lines. After
I'll get you on a sound check later.
He's gonna have to. I don't know though. He right now he's going to war with the tamales. You know what I mean? So
I know we can't incite him.
Yeah, you can't get him all. He's about to start a revolution. You know?
Hey, so let me tell you about.
Teach him some Nahua, and he gets the tamale. He's gonna use the tamale like a sword.
I gotta tell you about the Can we get back to Innocent Derek? What about Innocent Bird?
Send our love to SoCal Fish Slayer, man. It's good to have him back in here for sure. Before we get back to the Innocent man,
we got to talk about this innocent guy in prison, Jess. This guy is innocent. This guy did not do it.
He's just as innocent as everybody else here, as far as I'm concerned.
This guy did not do it, Jess.
Okay, for once, I believe we found somebody who did not do it.
No, I think he did it, but
he didn't do it. He didn't do it, but I think he had something to do with it.
This is the thing, James, and we wanted to get back on this topic because I think this is important. Look, I don't want to take nothing away from this guy or any other innocent people that are actually incarcerated because it does happen. How many people, James, do you know how many people are found to be factually not guilty, actual innocence in prison in the United States?
Happens all the time.
Maybe like 1%.
People on death row.
Like that actually go back to
That-
court, or people that are actually in prison right now.
No, did not do it. Actually innocent. People that DNA cleared them, guys that confessed and DNA cleared them, and they're out. Guys that were on death row were found to be innocent, and they were in the freaking. They were next to the death chamber. You know, it does happen. So when people are saying, when I hear 5 people in a 2-week period tell me that, you know, right off the bat, I'm thinking, okay, well, what's it to me? You know, that you obviously, you know, you're here for a reason. I think in my head, or like, you know, yeah, your legal team couldn't help you. So what do you think I could do? You know, and that's just. But see, that's the attitude that we get in this place. You know, we develop a distrust of the world, where somebody comes up to me and they tell me that, and I ask, okay, well, what's your angle? What do you want from me? You know, what do you think I can do for you? You know, and it's kind of a dick thing to say. It's kind of a dick attitude to have. Because hey, out of those 5 people, what if one of them was innocent? What if all of them were? You know, and I think that it would be pretty jacked up, man, to be in that situation. And I'm not, look how you said 1%. Think about it. What's the incarceration rate in California? I mean, I'm sorry, in the world. Or not in the world. We're not talking about. Let's talk about the incarceration in the United States. How many people? What is it, like a freaking million people or something?
So
incarcerated in the United States.
So when I said that 1%, what I meant by that was that maybe 1% actually
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
get to go back to court and actually are released. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the numbers, I would say, man, I would say like 10 or 15% maybe the people that are in prison are haven't committed the crime that they were convicted of.
See, 10 to 15%, think about that. If there's 1 million people incarcerated in the United States, 10% of that, what is that, 100,000 people innocent? Think of a number like that. And you said 10 to 15. I don't know if it's that high. It's probably lower. But they have numbers. Think about it. You know, they have that place, what is it, the Innocence Project? You know, the Innocence Project specializes in discovering actual innocence, and they do find them.
And actually giving marginalized people, you know, the defense that because, you know, you get a watered down, you got a right to a defense, an attorney, and a trial, and all that stuff, but you get a watered down version of anything, you know, and so the Innocence Project digs into people's cases the way that they should have been done before you throw somebody's life away. And like I said, the justice system is what it is. A lot of people belong here. A lot of people are here for what they've done, and they belong here. But there are way too many innocent people sitting in prison, and because they don't have the ability to retain counsel, they don't have the ability to fight the case themselves, they don't have the resources that can level the playing field between them and the unjust system.
And I think about this dude downstairs, right? Derek Snowden goes by Bird. He looks the part, right? What does the part look like? A minority in prison.
Dark skin. That's
dark.
the part.
He's dark skinned. You know, I'm pretty dark skinned my damn self.
You're darker than him.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty dark. You know, I mean, well, you see my picture now. I lighten up a lot when I'm in the hole. But look, the thing is this guy fits the mold. He's half black, half Indian from India, so he's already a minority right off the bat, right? But he says he's in prison for something he didn't do. I looked up his case in the law library, and I just didn't see how they convicted him. Everything that they said points to somebody else that was actually related to him. They said that they got him 12 years later after the crime. 12 years later. You know, and so obviously they didn't have nothing on him. 12 years later, they used the testimony of somebody who said that they heard him say that he shot 2 people in California.
Yeah.
You know, and I think about that. He's like, I didn't say that. And I'm like, dude, look, I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm saying, look, even if you did say that, a lot of people claim the same. A lot of people say, oh, well, maybe they're trying to impress people in the drug scene, or they're trying to do this and that. They're trying to look tough. And realistically, he was under the investigation for the 187 of 2 people. So he wasn't lying. He might have been like, you know, trying to boast his reputation or whatever. But either way, he's saying he didn't say that. The testimony they got him on got him convicted. That's what they said, that they heard him say that he did it. That's it. DNA evidence, they don't have it. Physical evidence, they do not have it. They have it from hearsay. I don't understand what I saw in that law library. I don't understand how that put him in prison for the rest of his life. And this dude is 53, was about 53 years old, 55 years old or something.
He's pretty young.
He's older. This dude, he's been down 20 years. And I'm going to be honest with you, as things stand with this guy, he's going to die in prison if somebody doesn't help this guy.
The only thing different, well, aside from him, believing that there's a chance that he's innocent, is this man didn't come from a marginalized community. He didn't come from the hood.
His dad was a police officer.
Yeah, his dad was a police officer for years. He was a lieutenant. He came from good family, from a great neighborhood. The people where they say that this crime happened at was actually in a rich upscale community. He went to college. He lived his life. He wasn't a gang member. He doesn't fit the mold of the average black.
He looks the part.
Yeah, he looks the part because he's too dark skinned. But
he's not.
Yeah, he more subscribes, I guess, to the. He's a very intelligent man. Of course he fell into the mold of prison because he's been here long enough. And you got to adapt. He was on the main line for a lot of years. So up until just a couple of years ago before he got here from A-Yard, and the reality of it is, he adapted to prison. It just goes to show how the social influence on prison is it influenced him, because he became a part of this mold,
Yeah.
And so, he just doesn't necessarily fit the mold that we would have come from,
But I wonder, did that work against him? Looking the way he does.
Absolutely.
In that environment, and they're thinking, well, this dude did it for sure.
Yeah.
I'm looking around this environment of all influential people, and I'm stopping on this large African-American dude.
Yeah.
And then I'm going across and I'm going back to this dude like, hey, weren't you in trouble when you were younger? Because he got in trouble. He got in trouble for breaking into a house, got sent to YA for it.
Yep.
So this dude, not only did this guy get in trouble, but hey, these bodies right here, they're connected to this dude in his past situation. No evidence, no physical evidence, no DNA, no confession. And he's going to probably die in prison. Life without the possibility of parole. And I feel fucked up for the guy. I feel enough for the guy thinking like, man, I don't understand how this is happening. And he said he wrote the Innocence Project, they didn't write him back. And the reason why I'm bringing this up right now is because I'm thinking, all right, look, if there's anybody out there that listens to this podcast that is involved with one of these types of organizations, maybe you know somebody that, like with the Innocence Project or somebody else, but take a look at this guy. I took a look at this guy with the most biased mind ever, thinking this guy is freaking guilty. I'm in the world of freaking guilty people here, and I'm thinking, damn, this shit is not adding up. I need to know more. I need to know what's going on. So I'm going to put his name out there. His name is Derek Snowden. His CDCR number is F as in Frank, 35089. You guys can hit him up on his tablet. He's got a GTL tablet. Add yourself to his tablet. Have a conversation with the guy. He's very sociable, cool dude. This guy doesn't have people that are willing to put themselves out there to look into his situation. You never know who we're going to meet online, on TikTok, on YouTube. You never know who's out there listening. People coming across these situations, true crime buffs. Take a look at this. It's got everything that people look for, right? What, 2 bodies? Marginalized person.
Well, he's not so much marginalized. He's a minority person by race.
Minority by race.
Yeah, by race.
Just looking at him, I'm just like, dude, you're marginalized.
Yeah, but the truth about it is, and when you actually see the story and listen to the story, it's going to blow you guys away when you come to the same understanding that we did of who actually committed this crime. It's
looking like a younger female family member might have done it.
Yep.
And
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
They found the evidence. They found evidence linking this chick to these victims. They found the stuff on her. And what did she do when they questioned her? She pointed the finger right at him. Yeah, she said he done it. Are you willing to testify to that? Absolutely.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
And I just think it's crazy. I'm not saying go like, I'm not saying go and put her away. Look, if she did it, she got to pay the piper. I'm just saying this guy right here is. There's a possibility that this guy might have something there. I'm going to give you a call back right now, James.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. So right now, when they call back, I'm gonna go ahead and ask some of these questions on here. I saw a question from let me see, what was it? From Cali Boy. What do you think about juveniles of 15 and 16 getting life? So actually, that's a good question right there. As a matter of fact, Jesse, he's actually a juvenile lifer. I think I want to say he was like 17 when. All right, he's calling back.
This call is now being
Este es
recorded.
Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello.
Hello, James?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, so, but I told him, you know what, man, I'm gonna talk about your situation because it does have things that we watch these things on TV, we watch these 48 hours, we watch these shows, right? And I think about it like, all right, well, this is the real deal. For the people who are into these types of things, seeking out justice, maybe curious how to help, this is a real situation. This is a real situation. These are real people. And you got to honor the victims also, because you don't want to take their justice away. So it's a slippery slope, and that's what makes the Innocence Project and organizations like that so important, because they seek out the answers. They look, okay, well, where's the DNA pointing? Where's the physical evidence pointing? Why is this guy in the crosshairs? And this is a country based on the presumption of innocence. Unless you're proven guilty otherwise. So you have the presumption of innocence with no physical evidence. I don't understand. And weak witness testimony. 12 years later, it took them to arrest him. 12 years. So they had the same stuff. They had the same information from what I read.
It's all circumstantial.
And all circumstantial evidence. It's like, look, man, you cannot take people off the streets based on these circumstances and sentence them to die in prison. So yeah, I hope somebody out there. Yeah, go ahead, James.
Was he convicted in San Diego? I think I found the case. I looked it up right now.
No, L.A.
Oh, L.A.
I want to say,
Yeah.
I wanted to say L.A. too, but you never know. L.A., right?
So he
His
came up.
last name, Derek Snowden.
Yeah, it happened back like in '92, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's him.
Okay, yeah, I pulled it up. There's some news articles about it on the LA Times. So I'll post it up on
Was it in L.A. or San Diego?
because I found one article in the LA Times. I haven't read it through it. I haven't read it yet. But then the first one that comes up on the San Diego Union Tribune, it's from San Diego, so I was assuming it was a San Diego case. But it looks like it happened in Cerritos.
Cerritos area.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, I found it. So what I'll do is I'll add this article to the description
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
of this video, just in case somebody wants to read the article and
then and see and check this guy out. Like I said, I don't know how to add people to the tablet. What is it? You just go on the GTL app in the App Store.
yeah.
You can add the app, and then you can request this guy as a contact, and that's it. You can start communicating with the guy, ask him questions. If you're curious about it and you're in a position where you may be able to help, ask questions. That's it. He's right there. You go on there, add a contact, his CDC number, F as in Frank, 35089. Last name Snowden. And find out what it is. You know, if there's anything that we can use this platform for good, hey, maybe it could be helping somebody that shouldn't be here. You know, unfortunately, I'm where I'm supposed to be at this time. You know, I'm not, like I said, I did it. You know, I'm not the person that I was then, but yeah, and even the situation that happened with my case, they threw extras on there. They said things that were not true in my case, but it doesn't take away from the fact that, hey, yes, I did take this man's life. I did that, but they did throw like a whole theory or an exaggerated set of circumstances around it. So I see how it can happen. It's like, man, like it's not. You kind of got most of it right, but all this extra shit, like really, like what? That was kind of unnecessary, you know. But I know they want to paint a picture. They want to paint a picture when they present their case in trial, and that's just what it is, man. You know, so it's crazy that if you get convicted of a crime, that becomes a statement of facts. You know, exactly what they said in trial. That whole theory, they proved the theory, and that's that. You know, so it sucks because it puts on a narrative, and it kind of comes back to bite you, you know. I feel bad for this guy because, look, if he gets his sentence commuted to a life sentence, he's going to have to go into board and take responsibility for a crime that he didn't commit, or he's never going to be released.
Yep, they're going to say he's denying responsibility, and it's a damn shame for the few guys, you know. And I understand the board's positioning on that because the reality of it is, you know, you have to be able to understand and take responsibility for the crimes you committed. You know, it's just, otherwise, how are you going to prevent them from ever happening again if you don't understand what you've done? But for somebody like him who's innocent, you know, or you know, allegedly is innocent, to have to go in there and take responsibility for something you did, and if you can't take responsibility, you know, then you're a sitting duck, you know, and it's completely unfair. And I think that connects to the research paper we're working on right now.
Yeah, like, man, you have to go in there and you have to say what the people in power feel is the appropriate response.
Yep.
You have to say it a certain way, you have to speak a certain way.
It's the conflict theory.
That's what we say, or conflict will ensue.
Yep.
And so we kind of get into that kind of that stuff, but you got any
I do.
Hopefully somebody's listening, man, James.
Well,
Okay,
you know, your topic, you know, sparked a lot of questions here on the chat. One of them, it was Scott Peterson, but I'm gonna hold off on that question. I wanna ask another question right here from one of the viewers that goes by Khalifa Boy, and he's asking what
All right.
what do you think of juveniles?
Khalifa Boy, go ahead.
What do you think of juveniles?
Go ahead.
What do you think of juveniles of 15 or 16 years getting life? And are there any guys with this situation?
Absolutely. Well, I know lots of them.
Yeah. Well, first of all, like Dave said, I was 17 years old when I committed my life crime. My case was a cold case as well, and I came in when I was 21, but I committed my life crime when I was 17. There's was it 13 AB 13 SB 1391 or no, what is it?
I can't think of it right now. 41? No. God, what is it?
Well, anyways, there's a youth offender bill that I fall under that gets me on the board. But with respect to the question that he's asking about 15 and 16-year-olds, well, now in the state of California, you cannot try a 15-year-old as an adult. Period. It does not matter the crime that they commit. That's 1391. That's the new bill that was just passed a few years ago. I had a cellie actually go home on that bill. He had been down 25 years. The bill itself is not retroactive, which means it doesn't apply to anybody that was convicted before the bill came out. But it just so happened after 20-something years, he had his case sent back to court on a People versus Caballero case law. And so because he was in front of the judge when that law came into play, the law automatically applied to him. And because he was 15 when he received his 130 something years to life, he fell under 1391. So what the 1391 means is if you're 15 or under, it does not matter what crime you commit. They cannot try you as an adult. They have to give you a juvenile sentence, which does not entail any life crime. Life sentences.
What about the little gerbil next door?
No, he was like 17, 18. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was so. But also too, like Ant, like Speedy's brother. He was 14 when he committed
14 years old, still here.
Yeah, except his attorney filed that stuff wrong when he went down on the Stripper versus Herd. There's people going home right now. They're trying to reverse that law because they do understand that a kid is a kid. You know what I mean? Like you can't hold this kid.
When did Joe came in young too, didn't he?
Yeah, at 17.
Yeah, he came at 17 though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, what he's asking, because there's juvenile laws now. Those 16 and older, they can try you as an adult. That's just the reality. And it kind of blows me away. They do say that they give great weight in the parole process. They will give you a life sentence still at 16 and 17 years old. The only difference is when you go before the parole board, supposedly they give great weight to these juvenile factors because they know that your mind is underdeveloped up until you age 26. They believe that essentially that you can't be held accountable to the fullest standard of adult thinking, that your consequential thinking isn't developed completely to your 26.
And you can't. I don't think you can. You could.
I don't entirely agree with it, but I'm not going to argue with it because it helps me.
The thing is, look, it's a slippery slope with that. Because you think, okay, not all 13-year-old kids were the same as us when we were 13.
Right.
There's some kids that are really immature. Maybe they have some genetic issues, or who knows, So, but I know when I was 13, I wasn't ready to be, killing motherfuckers. I wasn't trying to do that at 13. I probably can't say the same thing about you, but I know hey, I know a lot of kids though. I know a lot of kids that were some crazy fucks when because I was in the juvenile system. I was locked up, when I was a kid, and I was in there with a lot of kids that were fighting hot ones already. And so, yeah, it happens, and these kids are stone cold gang members.
Yeah.
So
I was in YA with a lot of them kids.
Yeah, them kids are brutal.
And most of them that I was in YA with, I've been in prison with them.
Yeah, they have multiple bodies. They're not just freaking. These kids ain't just like a single one-hit wonder. These kids are dropping bodies. They'll have about 4 before they even get busted.
But the thing about with that, so to answer his question, he asked, "What do we think about it?" Right? I think that California is moving in the right direction. They're starting to apply the science to the sentencing. They're starting to apply the science to the process. They understand that there is no juvenile justice system anymore. There is no California Youth Authority. Everything is at a county level. So they're trying to deal with them. They understand that by sending a teenager and even a young man, 21, 22 years old, you send them to these kind of environments. Look what happened to David. He's sitting in the seat next to me because they sent him to these prisons, these places at 18, 19 years old.
I came in prison at 18, and look,
and it shaped him. It shaped him to become the person that he was before he turned his life around. And that's just the reality. Same thing with me. I came in at 21 years old. I've been down 23 years now. And the reality is I had been a few years before that in the California Youth Authority, and so I've been incarcerated my whole life. And so when you come in and you put us in these environments, it's easy to say F it. It's easy to be hopeless and just adapt to your environment. You become a creature of this jungle because it was a jungle back then. And so
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
As far as 15 and 16-year-old children, giving them life and just throwing them away, I think they're on the right path. They're starting to recognize it for what it is because a lot of those guys are still redeemable. Look at I've been in here with 30, 40-year-old immature ass men. So if you throw a 15-year-old kid in here, that's usually who they are. I was that person. I was 39 years old, still acting like I was when I was 15 because I had a level of arrested development, and it was like I only had to evolve so far because this is the environment, what the environment required of me. Yeah, I was criminally sophisticated, but as far as my emotional intelligence level and
it was stunted.
Yeah, I was stunted, So I don't think they should be putting any kids in here. I don't totally agree with the 26-year-old youth offender law. I'm going to be honest with you because I just don't. You know what I mean? Like if if at 21 years old you can buy a rifle and at 18 years old you're paying taxes and they can send you to war at 18 years old to fight for your country, then I don't know how I feel about waiting for a man to be 26 years old to be fully evolved and developed. I just don't subscribe to that. But then again, I was 39 years old before I was fully evolving. You know what I mean? So, I wouldn't put a whole lot of weight, in my opinion, on that topic. I just don't believe that it takes. It takes till you're 26 before you actually understand the magnitude of what you're doing.
When I committed my life crime, I was 29. Like Jesse said, I came in in the juvenile system, but I was sentenced to state prison.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
So when I finally committed my life crime, which was a 187, I was still really immature. I was still behaving the same way that I was behaving at 16, 17 years old in the system. Just throwing a tantrum, but out there you throw a tantrum with bullets instead, It's a little different, but unfortunately, it cost somebody their life, and it took my future. So it's just, it's unfortunate, man. It's a hot topic to get into.
And if he happens to be involved with anybody out there, any youngsters, Cali boy, take advantage of the opportunity, bro. Like to start, encouraging some of these youngsters, because the reality is, people get dragged into some bullshit that they don't need to because they got nothing else to do. You know what I mean? So if you know some 15, 16-year-old kid that you see on his way to prison or on his way to picking up a life sentence, do what you can.
All right. So unfortunately, these calls they only last for 15 minutes, and then they're automatically cut off. They do make some announcements, but sometimes we tend to forget that they automatically get cut off. Anyhow, they should be calling back shortly. Once they do, then we'll go ahead and continue. And for those of you that are new here and are interested in listening to Jesse's and David's live journey, or anybody that comes onto this YouTube channel or TikTok channel, if you go over to YouTube and you look up at Collect Call From and go under playlist, you could find everybody's playlist, and pretty much what that is their journey, their life journey from when they were a child, a kid, all the way to where they're at now in their life. Typically the individuals that I like to bring on are people that are on a different path now. They're not on the path of causing destruction, destroying lives and whatnot. They're trying to better themselves. They're going to school. They participate in numerous programs that the CDC offers, like CGA, Narcotics Anonymous, and things of that nature. So those are the individuals that I look for that come on and share their journeys with us. And here they are. They're calling right back.
This call is now being recorded.
Este es Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be... Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello.
James.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, it seems like 8. I have to press the button 8 times for it to go through, but it works. Go ahead.
There it is. So, after so Cali boy, I actually wrote another comment on here, and I'm trying to find this so I could read it off to you guys. So Cali boy writes, asking because I know a person that was present in the time of a crime and got found guilty at the age of or got life at the age of 15 and is now in their 30s.
Was he, when he was present, okay, so I can't say the 187, that word starts with an M,
Yeah.
So because they were on TikTok, so did he fall under the felony M rule?
Yeah.
Which is so that's basically saying that, okay, well, there's a few guys there. They're in the commission of a felony. They're in the commission of a gang-related crime, and so if one of their homies were to take somebody's life, the people that are involved are considered it's called the felony M rule, felony 187 rule, which means that it's almost as if all of them pulled the trigger, and so that's one way that would happen. another yeah, I know, guys. There's a bill. It's called SB 1437, and it's supposed to be addressing those things.
And that other juvenile bill was SB 261.
Oh yeah, 260.
261,
Yeah,
262.
yeah. So, and then there's another one, which means that so
Juvenile.
then there's another one that has to do with aiding and abetting. Aiding and abetting is no longer applicable.
Nope. All my co-defendants are out there on the streets now.
Yep.
And
So
for the aiding and abetting.
yeah, under the law, if he was there as an aiding, there's only one person usually that will pull the trigger. Unless there was multiple weapons used and whatnot. So if there's one person that pulls the trigger, he was there while that was happening, or it might not.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
If it wasn't a hot one, I'm not really sure. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't like if somebody didn't lose their life, I don't know how that would apply to other crimes. But I think that if he was under the age of 18, he's definitely going to be coming up for youth offender parole.
Yeah, if he was 15 years old, he's got all kinds of action right now. He can go back into court, make sure he understands. I don't know if you speak with the dude or you directly connected to him, but let him know people versus herd. He can get back into court right now on people versus herd. That's the latest juvenile offender bill. That applies to anybody that was a juvenile.
H-E-A-R-D?
Yeah, H-E-A-R-D. That's he can get into court on that.
How would he get into court under using habeas corpus?
Yeah, file a habeas corpus. He can actually have his public defender, who originally represented his case, file with the Superior Court of whatever county he's in.
Under herd, huh?
Yeah, herd. But tell him to make sure he does his homework on that, because that's what happened with that. His attorney filed it wrong, and the judge was able to deny it based on he filed it wrong. You're supposed to get down into the Superior Court, get heard on it, and then you tell the Superior Court, I want to hear this in juvenile court. So once you hear it in juvenile court, the juvenile court cannot and will not deny it. They can do whatever they want, but they will not deny it because it's the juvenile justice law.
Yeah.
So if your boy, if he happens to be, if he's not aware of it, tell him to look into People versus Herd. If he needs more information on it, contact ARC, the Anti-Recidivism Coalition, right there in L.A., and they have an attorney that they actually brought to speak with a bunch of guys. He may have been contacted already, but if not, it's critical because people are getting out right on the people. There's a guy right now that's waiting. Pee-wee's waiting to go home on that. Scrappy's waiting to go home on that. There's what they're doing is they're cutting people loose.
Would AB 600 apply to him as well?
Well, I don't know. That's the gun thing, right?
No, that's just for resentencing. Yeah, it's for resentencing, but there's different factors. The gun was not. That was 620.
Oh yeah, 620. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not too familiar with the 600, but I know as far as like juvenile stuff, and like how you explained to him about if he wasn't the perpetrator, then he definitely has action on the 1170. What is it? It's what is the bill? I know for 11 he could file 1170, but if or the 775.95 under that what is the bill, dog? The one my crimey went.
It is the 775 though. That's one of them. Yeah, he's got a lot of action. I hope you're writing these things down.
Yeah. Because there's all kinds of action for anybody that was 15 years old and not the perpetrator. They're literally right now. This is the season to get those cats out.
Herd, 1437.
1437. That's it.
That's a felony. That's a felony murder. Yeah, that one. Yeah, he should be. He got action on that, and he has action on 261, which is for youth offenders, and also look into SB 600, AB 600, AB. Is it a Senate bill or Assembly bill? AB 600.
AB 600. Yeah.
Look up that too.
And definitely the 1437, because that means he wasn't. If you said he was present, that means he wasn't the sole perpetrator.
Yeah, he should be good.
Back in them days, they were washing everybody up as a group under gang enhancements, under aiding and abetting, this and that, and and they called it felony M. And so 1437. It took the power away from that because they can't do that anymore. If they can't prove that your participation in the crime actually resulted in the death of the individual, then they cannot find you guilty of that anymore, and they have to resentence you. And like I said, my co-defendant did 20 years and was released on that alone right there. So
we know these things because Jesse's a certified paralegal, and I'm just a legal nerd.
Yep.
I work in the law library, and Jesse worked in the law library for a long time. But yeah, so.
And I'm definitely interested in bringing legal advice and legal justice to marginalized communities. Because a lot of people out there, we hear these things because we frequent these circles. Because we live in here. My Sally works in the library. I worked in the law library for 2 years before he got the job. And this is basically what it is. But when you get out there to them communities, a lot of people don't know when they get involved in this stuff that the safeguards that are put into play to protect them, or they don't understand the justice system. So they go and it's a David and Goliath battle. You know, and I took that ride. Yep, the deck is stacked. You know, that's what's funny because it kind of goes to what we're doing a research paper right now on the same thing. You know, on the inequality, the injustices, the uneven playing field, and that's a lot of other things that we're working on. A lot of related work that we're working on. You know, to try to level the playing field in the justice system between marginalized communities. You know, Hispanic, minority, black, you know, communities. You know, and these other communities that dare I say hillbillies, the hillbillies. Hillbillyology, them Okies, the hillbillyology, yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, definitely make sure your boy's looking at stuff like that, because a lot of guys come in here and they get lost in the sauce in prison, and they're not really tripping. They're not really looking at you know, they're not really looking into anything that
or they might not know how. And it's important too that like loved ones, and you know, you said your boy. I don't know what he is to you, but people out there in society, man, sometimes it takes that help. We can't always do things in here alone. It's hard. It's not designed that way. You know, this system is designed to
come in here and just get lost in the fold.
Yeah, to break our identities, man. We don't have identities. They turn, you know, David. I go by a CDCR number now. You know, I have 2 CDCR numbers, the past one and the one I have today. But that's who we become. We're not looked at as husbands, fathers, brothers, sons. We're looked at. We'll look at, like, you know, the scourge of society, and we don't have a lot of things available for us, including research. It's hard to research things. So if you look into these bills for your boy, man, it'll help him a lot. You know, you'd be amazed what a phone call can do for somebody that's in here.
Yep, absolutely.
What's the other one? What's the other one? Just the Ella Baker Center. They publish a lot of stuff. Ella Baker publishes a lot of information for youth offenders. And so does the what is the one up there? I'm a little rusty. San Quentin Law Office, Jess? Is that the one?
Yep, San Quentin Law Office.
The San Quentin Law Office, they offer a lot of free legal information.
That's crazy you brought that up. I haven't heard San Quentin Law Office.
I almost forgot the name right now. I haven't heard them in a while.
I haven't heard, because, you know, they used to always send out stuff, but I haven't even heard anything from them in a long time. But it's probably because now I'm not too trying to buck the system. San Quentin Law Office is great for giving you information to fight the system.
Yep.
But, you know, now that I'm like, okay, I'm done playing the victim. I'm guilty. You know what I mean? I'm done trying to fight the system.
Yeah. All right, what else you got for us, James?
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
And I just want to throw this out there. Also, I just double checked on this video, but on some of the other videos, a lot of that information and forms are located on those videos. We you know, I've been fortunate enough to also you know, have lawyers, you know, come on here and provide us information. One of them would be Lisa, and a lot of times, you know, yeah. As a matter of fact, I need to reach out to her because when I was on vacation, she actually she had some information she wanted to share with us in regards, I think, to a process, some new process with the board of parole that she wanted to, you know, inform everybody about. But
yeah, we were supposed to be adopted by Lisa. I don't know what happened. Me and Jess were waiting here. You know, we're at the orphanage still. So I don't know what happened. Yeah, it's let her know. Hey, we got our little stick with a little ball of clothes hanging on it. You know, waiting for her to pick us up. I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
But
anyway,
if you look
we
at,
send a shout out to Lisa, man. She does amazing work.
She does. You know,
amazing work.
But yeah, if you look on some of the other videos, on some of those other videos, I think I want to say Joe had Joe's video. If you look for Big Joe, if you go under the playlist, look under look for Joe, and if you look on the description, it'll have a lot of that a lot of those forms, and it'll also have tutorials or step by step on how to fill out those forms. If for whatever reason, you know, you guys want to go down that route. That information is there, and I just want to throw this out there just in case my wife happens to be listening. Pollo Loco, a 3-piece, would definitely be highly appreciated right now. But
hey, you know what? If my wife is listening, the same applies.
If either one, if either one of their wives are listening, I
Yeah.
will take a 3-piece.
Yeah, Pollo Loco. A couple of them hot sauce package, please.
Yeah, I don't even like it Pollo Loco. You know that? I would be lying, but I would eat it right now.
I love you, baby, and
Yeah. He loves both of these guys. Love you guys, and because of that, I think I deserve a 3-piece.
yeah. Now Jesse wants one.
Yeah. If you don't bring enough for everybody, don't bring it. Isn't that what Mom teaches you?
Just come pick me up, babe. Jess is tripping. Full's tripping. He's trying to eat my chicken though.
Does she listen in the car when she's driving, James?
Sometimes she does. So I'm hoping she's listening right now, cause man, I ate in the morning. I haven't eaten yet. And then Fischler, actually, when I did the rooster call, he was talking about, he brought up Pollo Loco, and I was like, man, that does sound pretty good.
Yeah.
Right about now.
What's up, my boy Fish Slayer?
Yeah.
I sent him a message the other day, but his Global Tel app been acting a little funky, so I don't know if he got it.
Yeah, I've been waiting for him to add himself on my contact list. I've been waiting for these pictures of the marlins and the tuna. I'm devastated. I ain't gonna lie.
They crushed.
I go crushed.
Every day I got to talk him off the ledge.
Yeah, if I go, I look at the contacts, I scroll down a little bit, I get sad, shut the tablet off.
His app is acting funky right now. Like it was saying something about, I don't know, like he was flagged or something. But
it was.
He's the only one that got flagged.
No, it's because when he's not on the GTL app or on the podcast or working, he's actually Batman at night.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So they're on him.
Yeah.
They're on him. They know. Yeah, he's Batman.
He's running around. He's running around downtown somewhere. It's a Cape Crusader.
Yeah. That's true. Though. We got to call him this weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll call him this weekend.
Yeah, I got to give you a call, my boy. Hey, so what else you got for us, James?
So I got a question from Fischler. He's asking, how does a person reach out to the Innocence Project to take a case like Derrick's?
Hey, excellent question, and we don't know.
Yeah, your guess is as good as ours.
Yeah, we don't. That's why I'm here.
You can actually write to them, because I knew one dude that was actually picked up by the Innocence Project, but I think you got to write to them, and you have to pay to submit all your transcripts and basically whatever discovery.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
They're probably flooded with letters, from people.
Yeah. And
they have to sort them out, and in a situation like that, they're probably getting swept under, and I don't know. I'm at a loss, and it's crazy because you see a situation like that, and you're like, man, what can I do to help this guy? I almost don't want to know if he's innocent, because it's a horrible feeling.
You know what's ironic is a friend of mine, a real good friend of mine, actually met somebody from the Innocence Project, actually one of the board of directors from the Innocence Project not long ago, and she started discussing restorative justice and certain aspects of the justice system, and she had very little knowledge of it, and she's actually on the board of directors for the Innocence Project.
Crazy. Hey, I'm going to call back right now, James. You got another call on you?
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Hey, so Fischler, so what happens exactly when they flag your account? Like, do they restrict it from being able to send messages? And you know what? And lovely Gigi writes, there's ramen behind you. There's maruchan. Yeah, I order a few boxes, and I try not to eat this stuff, so I put it right behind me. I was like, man, I got all this stuff. I got the prison pay phones. I got I got the cell phones. I got I got all this stuff behind me. As a matter of fact, I was going through some of my mail. What was it, like yesterday or the day before that? And I actually found this. Let me see here.
This call is now being recorded.
Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello, hello.
James.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So you know what? One of the other questions. It was a little while back. I'm looking for it right now. Somebody had brought up Scott Peterson. If you guys thought that
Yeah.
if he was innocent, because the Innocence Project actually was, you took on his case. They were trying to get him back into court, and one of the viewers right now that goes by Dovo writes, there's many I don't know that there's hold on, let me see. I'm appalled that they're even wasting their time with Scott Peterson. There's many other cases the Innocent Project should pick up.
And the thing is I agree with that.
Yep.
I do agree with that, and that's what it's a difficult thing to think about, because you think, okay, well, Scott Peterson, we all know what we see. We all know what we've seen on TV. We all know we all know the situation. The crazy part is that he's probably going to be on one of these damn yards now because they empty San Quentin. So he's probably in Donovan or some other one of these crazy yards. But the thing is, look, it's about the evidence, right? It's about the evidence of what they got on people. It's not supposed to be what you think. It's supposed to be what you can prove. You know, that's what it is. You can't just go taking people off the streets because of emotional aspects. You know, yeah, it's probable that he probably did it, and he should. He's got to pay for what he did. That was a horrible thing that he did. And you think, why would they pick up a case like that?
Well, I can answer that question for you easily. I mean, it all goes back to everything that we're working on right now about the inequality and the unjust system. Because the reality is, he comes from privilege.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, people were, because he had private attorneys all the way through the whole process, all the way through everything. And so what happened is he got his people out there, you know, who are hooting and hollering, because a lot of times these things don't affect certain communities, you know.
Yeah.
And now that he's, you know, they've been bit by their own dog, he's got people knocking on doors and banging down. That's what happens when you have the right kind of support.
Yeah.
And in his family's eyes and the people that love him, just like with us, we're guilty of sin. But you wouldn't be able to tell our mothers that we did anything wrong.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to tell those, you know, our loved ones that we did anything wrong, because to them we can't do no wrong. And it's the same thing with him, you know, except there's a difference. His family, you know, they're out there and they have access to those resources, and they.
He looks the part, right?
Yeah.
He looks the part. It's a high-profile case, and that's what it is. Derek doesn't look the part. He's from a privileged area, but he doesn't look the part. His dad was I think a sheriff. You know, he wasn't a police, he was a sheriff. You know, but his dad passed away and whatnot. You know, but the fact of the matter is he doesn't have the support. He has an elderly mother. He's an elderly mother, and what else does he have? His mother's there for him. She loves him. She takes care of him. But that's not the kind of person that can ask these questions and get answers. She doesn't even know where to start. You know, and especially the situation that the way that it's all played out is it's somebody else very close to her that probably did it as well. You know, and that's the thing. So how do you say, well, you know, it's got to be a horrible situation to think, well, her son is spending the rest of his life in prison and will most likely die in prison. But if he's freed, it's probably going to put one of her other family members away.
Someone a lot more vulnerable than
a lot more vulnerable, a female family member, and it's somebody very close to her. And so that's, and I don't want to say anything on here because it's if you were to read this case, it's, you know, it's on there. It's got to be it's an appellate case, because I found it public document on the LexisNexis that we have, but it's got to be online. The appeal decision, it's got to be online, and it reads it. It's like, hey, this chick was caught with the evidence. You know, it's like she had stolen merchandise from the residence in her car. You know, of with these two people that were you know, their lives were taken. So you think about it like, man, you know, and I told him, he's like, well, what, you know, he doesn't have, you know, and I have to remember, a lot of guys, they're not as articulate as Jesse and I are. We're very articulate. that kind of works against us sometimes. But he doesn't have an idea of how to present himself, and he's asking me that. He's like, well, what do I do? And I'm like, dude, I ain't got time for this, But I felt bad, and I went and I helped him. I said, look, man, what I would do is, there's these guys that are doing these TikToks, and they're finding pen pals and stuff like that. It's a similar concept to what we do on TikTok, except that we talk about prison justice reform, criminal justice reform, recovery, and stuff like that.
Hope and redemption.
But there's guys that come onto TikTok and they do the video calls, and their sole purpose is finding pen pals or finding up people to write them and finding love and whatnot. Similar to the Right of Prisoner and things like that. So they do it for that circumstance. But I told him he paid the dude so he can find a mate and whatever the hell, find some companionship. And I told him, dude, you paid the guy. You're gonna go on TikTok. You're gonna present yourself, and why don't you start presenting yourself as innocent Derek? Why don't you get on there and stop trying to worry about getting your wetting your whistle, and start trying to find advocacy, find people that may take an interest in your situation, see you for how we see you. We see you as a good dude, man. Funny as hell, goofy as hell.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Cool looking, lurch looking dude, but just super cool. It seems like almost like you cannot offend this guy. He wears this. We're out there in the softball league, and he's a referee. And they give you these freaking referee shirts right here. And we all wear blue or we wear gray. We got our slingshots, but most of us don't even wear shirts on the yard. And this dude's standing there in a black and white striped referee shirt with a black collar.
It looks like they painted it on him.
It does. That thing does not fit him. That thing is made for somebody like Felipe's size. That thing has got to be. It looks like it's painted on him like body paint, right? You see his stomach popping out, and he's just, and he rocks it, and he looks professional. He's bald. He's got a bald head. He's got this, he's got these big old black freaking wraparound spy sunglasses, and some shorts, some small shorts and some combat boots on, right? He's got these state issue boots that he wears, and and he's standing there. He's serious. He's taking this umpire job serious, which we, it was a tournament, so we wanted him to, but the collar was flipping up in the wind, right? And I swear to God, he looked like Count Chocula. He looks like a vampire standing there, his collar's up, like Dracula, and I was like, man, I was like, look, come here, Count Chocula, you need to fix your shirt, And he's laughing, and he's just, look, this guy's got a heart of gold, man. He's got a great sense of humor.
Yeah, he's comedy.
He's just comedy, man. And it's just like, I told him, go up there, man, and talk to these people on the TikTok, and show them who you are. And if they ask who you are, tell them, I'm innocent Derek. I'm in prison for a crime I did not commit.
Hey, I think we might have to bring him on to so he could put his story out there, and maybe we could get the ball rolling on this. And man, it'll be, imagine we're able to bring an innocent person home. Man, that's what we need right there. Yeah, it'll be great for everybody. It'll be great for him. It'll be great for us. Man, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna be straight up with you. This dude is a natural entertainer. Straight up, like literally, he's a freaking show. Like it's hilarious to be around him. He's always talking shit, but he's super intelligent. But like I said, he's a natural comedian just in his personality. So I think he would actually definitely be an asset to the show.
I'm gonna plug him in. I'm gonna plug him in with you, James. We're gonna do that, man.
Yeah.
The thing is, look, man. Yeah, ask him questions.
Yeah.
Ask him questions, and ask him, hey, well, how did this happen? Why is this person saying that you told him that you're on the run out of California? They got him in Vegas. He's saying he was never there. He was saying he was never around there.
Yeah.
He was saying that there's nothing that could even put him there. He's saying his phone was even in Vegas. Like he wasn't around there, and this happened, and it's like it's just ask him those questions.
Yeah.
I asked him.
You know what I'm gonna do?
Bring some awareness.
Because the transcripts are online.
Person that collect call. Yeah, I was gonna say he could be the first person to collect call sets free.
His pictures
There
are
it
online?
is. No, the transcript. So I'm gonna look up the transcripts and go through it. But I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna reach out to him. You know what? I got a question from Fish Lair
Uh-huh.
that I
The
want to
boy,
ask
he got
you.
priority. What's up?
So he's
Should have
asking.
led with that.
He's asking. What's the perspective on someone that's guilty and has money to beat the case? The system is crazy.
Well, freedom.
Yeah,
That's the matter. That's what it is.
The perspective is that man's going home. No, but it's funny because that's one of the inequalities that I pointed out in we were talking about. I just not too long ago I did a presentation for the 17 rooms. It's a thing with the UN. Well, anyways, I did a presentation for them, and I was talking about the inequalities in the justice system. And that was one of the examples that I used. That basically you can commit a violent crime, right? A very violent crime, but if you have money to pay bail, you could be back out on the streets fighting your case. It don't matter what the crime is that you've committed. If you have enough money to buy your freedom, you get to be on the streets. But if I crash my car and I hurt somebody and I don't have enough money to pay for my bail, then I'm stuck inside of tell me how having money makes me any less of a risk to society. But because I have money, I can be out there as violent as I want to be, and I'm back out in the streets.
Yeah.
But if I have no money, I got to sit in a jail cell and fight my case with the minimal defense, with the public pretenders office. There's so many things that make the system uneven. It's crazy.
It's all,
we see it all the time. Look at O.J. Simpson. You
Yeah.
buy enough lawyers to muddy the water and sling enough shit against the wall, something's bound to fit.
it's all money, man. And the crazy part is, like, for regular people, right? Like, look, my family, I have a good family. They're not struggling by far. They're doing okay, But the fact of the matter is my family's working class, business owners, and so when I got arrested, I had to make a choice. And really, my mom, she made the choice for me, because she was like, look, I turned myself in. I don't know if you guys know that, but I made a decision that I wasn't gonna live my life on the run. I was all over the news. I was wanted. It was for 187, like I mentioned before. And it's a lot of people say, well, how can you do it? Why didn't you run to Mexico? Why didn't you this and that? Look, you try living a day.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
You live your life a day on the run for 187 when you're all over the news, and you're gonna think that jail's not such a bad place. And we're talking about them looking for me with, like, armed posses to take me off the streets.
Every time you walk out, when me and Shane were on the run, literally when we're walking out, when we be leaving Edge or one of those pads or one of you guys, like Maria's, as we're walking out one door, they'll be calling from that house like, hey, they literally just showed up right here.
No, yeah.
So we'd be scared to death going to the next spot.
And they
were literally, like, right behind us from pad to pad.
Yeah, they had Crime Stoppers. They were trying to cash in, because remember, I was $1,000.
Yeah,
just leading to my arrest, I was $1,000, and they don't give a shit about me.
Yeah.
I overcharged them for a sack, or I did this and that, or I freaking, and so they might feel jealous of me and stuff like, yeah, I'm $1,000. I'm $1,000 in your pocket for a phone call. One phone call is leading them to my arrest, and it's not hard to find me. Everybody's telling them where I'm at, and so I turned myself in. I thought that would be the best bet. So I come in. I knew what it was. I knew that I was most likely not going to come back out again.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
That was my option. Stay on the run, probably get shot to death by the police, get arrested eventually anyway. Just no way to support myself, stressing everybody out, or come in on my terms, say goodbye to the streets. I said my goodbyes to the streets, and I knew that I was probably never going to see them again, and I came in.
Hey,
let me call back, James.
Call back, because my wife just walked in, and she brought me. I want to tell you guys what she brought me.
No, it's a 3-piece. All right, I'm gonna call back.
Hey, all right then. Thank you, Amy. Let me see. So Amy, hey, thank you, Amy. I really appreciate the support. But yeah, I mean, you gotta do what's best for you. All right, so I'm back. I plan on continuing with these with my regular streams. I'm just trying to figure out what time, because my wife's been on me about having like a set time and set days, because I'm all over the place. Normally I don't give a heads up when I'm gonna do these lives. It's pretty much whenever I can. And here it goes.
Esta es Global Telling.
This call is
Usted
now being
tiene una
recorded.
llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California.
All right, it might be tripping now. Maybe everybody's gonna jump on. Maybe everybody's figured out that the system's back up. The GTL system
Esta
is up.
llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not.
Cinco.
Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello.
And she thought about like, oh, yes, sir.
All right, so my wife just walked. Well, actually, my daughter walked in first. She came in, and then my wife came a few minutes later, and she walked in. And she brought me a bottled water, and an apple pie from McDonald's.
She brought you a bottle of water and a slice of bread. She said, "Get in the hole, boy." Yep. You're going to the hole, James. Bread and water for the rest of the week.
Well, it's definitely no three-piece, but you are married to an amazing woman, so we have no criticism.
There it
I'll out
is.
of court for some pie and water.
Hey, you get what you get, James.
That's right.
You get what you get to eat. Be thankful you have her.
There it is.
It definitely beats that baked potato they gave us on the tray earlier.
I didn't even go off for that.
Yeah,
Let me get back to this before I lose my train of thought, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I come in, right? I come in. I'm locked up. I knew what it is. But how am I still what do you call it? They called me a flight risk. I come in with an attorney. I lawyered up. Came in with an attorney. And I was in jail for 5 years because I couldn't afford bail. I spent 5 years in the county. And you'll see on one of my mugshot pictures, I'll show it to you how pale I was. 5 years I didn't freaking go out into direct sunlight. I was in a cage most of the time. And so it's just because I couldn't afford bail. And they said that we told them, what do you mean like a flight risk? I knew they're not saying I was a danger to the community or anything. They were saying that you're a flight risk. You're here for this charge. You have $1 million bail. I couldn't go out unless my mom put up a house, which we didn't own a house, and $100,000. One of the houses collateral and $100,000. And that's what the legal system is. And think like, okay, well, what do you mean I'm a flight risk? Like, I could have left. I didn't have to turn myself in. I wasn't running from a bail bondsman. I made a decision to go to court and fight my case. How am I a flight risk? I don't understand that. And for $1 million bail, like, you guys could have
That's a perfect example.
Yeah, and it's like you guys could have lowered my bail to $100,000 and still involved the bail bonds company, so if I didn't show up to court and whatnot. But you did not want to let me out of jail. And it's like, come on, like, I obviously came in showing that I'm going to deal with this situation responsibly.
You're an attorney. I did everything else I would have done, and had I come from a different community or a different background, you would have sent me home on some sort of OR, or you would have lowered my bail, or you would have taken all my money because that's what you do, and you would have still let me back out into the street to commit whatever crime I chose to commit if that was my intention. But the fact that I turned myself in should have let you know that I wasn't intent on committing any crimes, and you should have presumed me innocent.
I was presumed innocent. Yeah, I'm showing up. I'm showing up. Somebody CO just put ducats in my door, but I can't find them until they're on the floor somewhere probably. But so anyway, I can't find them, Jess. So but that's the situation though that happened with me. So I'm in there, I'm on $1 million bail, and then
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
the going rate for a basic 187 case is 50,000. That's basic. That's not even like, that's like a moderate defense, because they charge you 25,000 for well, they charge, yeah, you have to pay a retainer, so you have to pay we had to pay like 15,000 down on a retainer, so you can't even afford bail anyway, because if you want a defense, you know, my mom had to put up something, and I got $15,000 down, and I got an attorney, and then they wanted you have to pay payments on that up to 25,000, and then if you're bound over for trial, which you usually are, you end up with you have to pay another 25,000, but then you have to put in another retainer because your contract is done from that point. You have to be paid for trial, and that's not including investigator. That's not including because you have to have an investigator with your case. They charge you for that, and also motions. Just for the motions, my family had to come up with, I think one time, like 5,000 or 2,500 for a motion. That's a motion for we did a motion for after I was convicted, and you know, so all these things add up, and then that's not including also a reasonable defense. Like I told my attorney, I was like, dude, we paid you all this money because I had private attorneys. I had a private attorney from after preliminary hearing. I had a private attorney. He didn't. We couldn't pay him because he didn't want 50,000. He wanted like 60,000 or something, and then we had to pay him 25,000 down. We couldn't afford him, and he wanted 5,000 a month after that. We couldn't afford him, so I got turned over to the public defender's office. The public defender's office, they wanted to take me straight to trial with an attorney who had never defended a 187 case before. I was his first case. Hell no. I did a Marsden motion, which means that I requested to go pro per. So I don't know if I ever told you that I was pro per, James, on my case too.
No, I thought it was only Jesse that went pro per.
No, I was pro per too. You know, so yeah, I did the whole shebang. I was in there. I filed my own motions. I was pro per for 9 months. Set my own court dates. Wrangled with the DA. Yeah, I did all that shit for 9 months. I got issued a laptop computer. I had a private investigator hired. I had a paralegal. I had a legal runner. Yeah, everything. I was running my own defense. Yep, I did that for 9 months. And then we finally, what I wanted to do was, my strategy was to I wanted to really go through all of the. I wanted to ask for the money for the investigator, conduct all my investigation on my own to try to save some money, which I was able to do. And I wanted to do a deep dive into my discovery. And I wanted to file motions for resources that a private attorney wouldn't be able to do, and a public defender would have given me a hard time. So I did all those. I got granted everything, and I basically I hired a paid attorney again for 30,000. He charged us 30,000. Yeah, he charged us 30,000, and this guy took me to trial, completely burned us, didn't put up any defense for me. $30,000, no defense. When they asked for the defense to present their case, he didn't present any case. He said that I basically paid for an opening statement, a closing statement, closing argument, and cross-examination of the witnesses, no defense. Got straight burned. That's $30,000. And then we ended up having to come up with more money for a post-conviction motion. And so it's like, come on. That's why, we don't have a fighting chance. These guys they take us for everything that we got. I would have put up like mannequins. I would have put on a freaking a 3D model of the situation. Nothing, man. No defense. And then he scared me off of going to the stand. I told him I was going to testify on my own defense, and he's like, I don't think you should do that, man. Basically everything that we do, it'll be up to, like, he got this locked up, and if I testify, it can throw everything out the window. Well, my ass got life. And so that's the difference of what money can do for you.
And you want to know what's crazy about that, James, is as everybody knows, I represented myself in trial. I was pro per, and literally the state gave me almost 60,000.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Hello, hello. If you guys could hear me, your phone went dark. I can't hear anything being transmitted. I'm sure it's
Got
GTL's.
fired, but hello?
Okay, you're back.
Yeah,
You're
what the
back.
hell was that?
We lost you. The last thing I heard was the 60,000.
Oh, ancillary funds.
Yeah. So the state gave me. I had to file several different motions for ancillary funds, but along the way, the state basically gave me roughly $60,000 in ancillary funds for investigative purposes, for just a bunch of different stuff. So for my PI to basically go out and chase down all the witnesses and do things to do tapings and just a bunch of different things. Well, anyways. It's crazy to think about it. Like, if they just gave each person that money willingly from the get-go, a lot of people would, and look what happened. I had life without the possibility of parole, and I did that myself because I had access to the funds. And they fight you. They'll fight you on the funds. You got to fight them, and you got to show them why it's critical to, on the defense that you're already on, why it's critical to have those funds. And they gave them to me, though, even towards the end when they got a little, they were giving them to me in chunks of like 3,000 here, 1,500 there. They were fighting me all along the way towards the end, but again, it just goes to show that how money can level the playing field.
Yep.
And the state paid for that $60,000 fence. They could have just put that for an attorney.
I got more done. I got more done in on mine being pro per than what my attorney did. And on my behalf. And the crazy part is that he didn't use any defense investigation at all in my trial. None. All that money we paid for a freaking investigator, even the $30,000 we gave him, nothing was introduced as defense evidence. Nothing.
Who'd you get?
Enrique Tira.
Oh.
Yep. And he was there. He was ready to go. And he didn't call him for any, nothing. And that's the crazy part. And
that's a lot of the money goes to expert witnesses and doctors, because whatever the prosecution they put on, you can put rebuttal witnesses, and so they're always going to have a doctor that says one thing or an expert witness that says this, expert says that. And you can.
Yeah, the money that you come up for is supposed to go also to expert witnesses.
Yeah.
For an attorney, you're paying for that. You're paying for that service.
Yeah.
Because the public defender's office provides those services. The problem is that there's some good attorneys in the public defender's office.
Yeah.
There's some great attorneys, but
They don't have the resources.
They don't have the resources. They're in a bureaucracy, and also they have so many cases that they have on their plate. They're stacked, man. They're stacked wall to wall with case files.
Yeah.
So you're paying for that. You're paying for that. That second look into your case. You're paying for that attention to detail with a private attorney. But yeah, I got screwed on that. And the crazy part, James, is they put a witness up on the stand that was critical in my conviction that was not there. Never seen that guy in my life, James. And it was a crazy part. Yeah, and I'm not denying that I committed the shooting. I did do that. I'm not denying that. The situation that happened was it was a firearm deal gone bad. I went there to sell a firearm to somebody. The situation kind of spiraled. We had a disagreement. I lost my temper, and I took his life. I take responsibility for that. That's what happened. I didn't even know the guy. I went there for that purpose, to sell that firearm, and this is what happened. There was witnesses there. A witness went to this residence and talked about what she saw. One of the guys that was at that residence was talking to her, and he went to the police like if he was there. And this dude was so inaccurate in his information. When I was reading his on the Discovery, I was reading it and I was like, man, who is this guy? I don't know this guy. I was like, dude, I don't remember seeing this dude there. And he had the information because it came firsthand from a girl that was actually there. But he's not saying he saw the shooting. He's saying that he saw something that a conversation prior to that, and it was just wrong. Everything he was saying was wrong, and I was like, dude, I don't know how I missed this guy. And when he walked into the courtroom, he was one of their star witnesses. He walked into the courtroom, and I told my attorney right there, it's the first time I seen him, I was like, dude, I don't know who this guy is. I've never seen this dude in my life. And he's like, are you serious? I said, dude, I don't know who this guy is. I was seeing his name on the reports, and I'm thinking I missed him, but I'm telling you right now, he wasn't there, dude. I don't know who this is. And he got on the stand, James. He was 6 feet from me and had no idea who I was. They asked him if he recognizes this individual, me, and he looked right at me, looked around, and he had no idea who I was, couldn't point me off. He couldn't. He wasn't able to identify me. I was like, that's because he doesn't know who I am. He doesn't.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
And I was telling my attorney, I was like, dude, I'm telling you this, and you can't pick this guy apart on the stand? A freaking guy that wasn't even there? $30,000 for you? Like, what the hell?
Shit, my co-defendant, the one that's out there on the streets, they spent almost $200,000 in attorneys.
I could have got the death
and
penalty.
got washed up.
I could have got the death penalty from what that guy said.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, what the? Hey, I'm gonna. You got another phone call, James?
Yeah, call back because I got some questions from Chubby Jessica. She's coming in hot. She's rapid firing. We gotta show her some love. So, call back.
All right. Okay, I'll get Jesse ready.
All right. So they're gonna be calling back, and then we'll go ahead and continue with their conversation. And these two guys, they come and they come ready. They provide a lot of good information, good conversation, a lot of jokes and whatnot. We haven't done a live in about, I think it was about, we're going on the third week, because I know we had one scheduled when I was on vacation that I ended up canceling, and then another one when I got back, I canceled that one also. So I know at least two of our Sunday streams I went ahead and canceled, but this Sunday they'll definitely be back.
This call is now being
Esta es
recorded.
Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not. Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Chubby Jessica is asking, what are the steps to saying goodbye to the streets?
Oh man, that's a whole show in itself. In reality it is. That's a whole show. And so, I mean, where do you start? It's a process. It's a process. Saying goodbye to the streets is a process. You don't just wake up and say goodbye to the streets. The streets are ingrained in you. It's part of who you are. You know what I mean? Like, and we say the streets. It's a lifestyle. And for some people, it's literally the street. Some people literally spend day in and day out. When I first started selling dope at 12 years old, I was on an alley, and to me that alley was important to me. It wasn't even my barrio, but we had taken it over, and that's just what it was. You know what I mean? And I used to sleep in an abandoned apartment and in that street. But for some cats, their block is their block. So when they're in love, when they're ingrained in that street, that street is what it is. But so when she's saying the streets, she's talking about the lifestyle.
Yeah, I was when I say goodbye, like I was talking about the community. Like when I knew that my lawyer came and picked me up and he drove me in. Like I said, I was super wanted. I was on news. I was on the commercials. I was on the newscast. The hunt is still on for freaking. The freaking maniac is armed maniac. In your community. So yeah, I was very, very wanted. And when my attorney picked me up, he had the investigator behind us, and they drove us over there. So I had to drive from Palm Desert to Indio, and I remember that I was looking at everything, even the details. Like I was looking at people in their cars. I was looking at the way the streets looked, like the actual street. I was looking at drive-throughs. I was looking at like stoplights, things like that. I remember looking at the sky for a little while, like thinking, man, like this is the last time that I'm ever gonna see the sky again. Like it's just different. Like here, I see the sky when we're here, but it's like we have a backdrop of incarceration behind us.
A whole different sky.
It's a whole different sky. It's like I can only see what's in my view of my window and on the yard, but you can't see out. You can't see like the whole you can't see the whole backdrop of life going on, And I knew those things because I had been to prison before. And so and then I was thinking about all the things that I would never see again. I was thinking that I was never going to drive a car. I was never going to be able to play with a dog again. You know, we're talking for the rest of your life, you know. It was almost like driving to the hospital and knowing that I was terminal and I was going to die, you know. And it's like, how do you comprehend that, you know? Like, how do you, all those things were going in my head, but I knew that there was no going back. I could have jumped out of the car and freaking made a run for it. I could have done all those things, but I felt like it was going to take away from the moment. The whole point of me going in was because I wanted it to be on my terms. I didn't want my door getting kicked in at 3 a.m, surprising me, freaking, you know,
Getting ripped
out of life. Like Jesse got ripped out of life, you know, and I think about him, and I think about, because he got arrested with one of our mutual friends, you know, which was like he's like a brother, you know, yeah. And I think about it like these guys were ripped out of life. I was ripped out of life every time, and you know you're doing things you're not supposed to be doing when you're living a life that we were living before, but you're never really ready for the time when you're ripped away from that life.
Nope, and it's funny that you say that, because me and Shane, the one he's talking about, you know, he's my best friend. He's like our brother, you know. And we actually went to the attorney first, the same way David did. You know, we went to the attorney.
Same attorney too, huh?
Yeah, same attorney and everything. And got a little card that said, because he actually tried to convince us to turn ourselves in. You know, mind you, we were on the run for a different shooting, a shooting that took place with another one of our childhood friends. And I didn't know I was wanted for this murder yet. I actually wasn't wanted. I mean, I was under investigation, but they didn't have the arrest warrant yet. So me and Shane went. Pit Viper, he comes on the show. You guys hear him sometimes. He's on there, listener. So anyways, we go to the attorney, like how Dave said, and the attorney tried to convince us to turn ourselves in.
He's the one that convinced me too.
Yeah, we were talking about it the other day, and we were like, nah. And I even told my boy, "What's up? You want to do it?" And he was like, "Hell no, they catch me when they can." You know what I mean? We'll figure it out. You know what I mean? We did our part. We got the attorney. Let's get up out of here. And we went on the run to Arizona. So when we got busted, the day we got busted, like Dave said, we got ripped out of life in Arizona. I'm not thinking they're like, because we know potentially three people were shot in our crime with me and him. I had no idea that they had brought up this old murder from years earlier, you know, and so, or this old 187. And so when we're at the county jail it's the Horseshoe in Madison County in Phoenix, downtown Phoenix, Arizona. They take me out down to the U.S. Marshal's office down the way, and I come back. And it's that feeling you're talking about. You're not ready. And so when I come back and they put me back in the holding cell with Shane, Shane looked at me and he said, "Hey, fool, I'll never forget the look on your face." You even tell me, like, you know, last time he's like, "I'll never forget how you look." You know, like it was a whole different. Because when we were busted, it was like, we're good. We'll go back to California. We'll figure it out. You know, because that's just what we do. But the reality of knowing, because the attorney had us convinced, like, don't worry about it. It was a self-defense case. Yeah, a couple people got shot, but they kicked in the door where you guys were at. You guys had the right to shoot, whatever. Yeah. So anyways, when I went down, they interrogated me for this crime, the crime that I got life for. I knew right then and there instantly that I was never going to see the streets again. Instantly, my mind was automatically flipped over, like, okay, I'm going to die in here, and this is what it is. You know?
It's a weird feeling, huh?
Yeah. So when I went back and I told Shane, he looked at me, he's like, "What's up, dog?"
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
And I told him, "Nah, fool." I told him, "I'm never getting out." And he's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'm never getting out. They came and they questioned me about an old murder. It's not just our case." And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yup." And he's like, and I go, "We'll talk later, you know." But he told me, he's like, "Well, I'll never forget the look you had on your face." So the reality set in there. You know, it only took me a few minutes because, you know, we adapt. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But that feeling of like, okay, this is it. You know what I mean? Like that's that rip feeling, because you do feel something tears. A piece of your humanity dies right then and there. The second they tell you, or the second you know, I knew I was guilty of my crime. I knew it was a vicious, callous crime, and I knew the reality is this was supposed to be a secret. I've done a lot of crazy things in my day, and my life crime was supposed to be a secret. So if it was out there in the open and the cops are talking to me years after this crime happened, I know that the gig was up. And so I wrapped my head around it. It was like, all right, you know, and he's looking at me like, man, I can't believe it, fool. Like, you're never going to get out. And he's still got it in his mind that he's going, no, we're going to beat this other case. So it was just a crazy feeling, like how you said. And so instantly from that day forward, it was in my mind, like, all right, well, this is my home, and I'm going to make it my home. I'm going to make the best of it.
Was that the 60 seconds?
No, no,
Yes,
no, no. You still got we got about another about 7 minutes.
No, that's cool. Hey, what about so what about just like when you first realize that you're most likely never gonna go home, right? You're in that first holding cell because you got to get processed, you know. But the holding cell, it looks different, huh? Like, I don't know, it just felt different. Did it feel weird? Were you listening more to the echoes of you know, because you hear the echoes of the county, you start to listen to things more than you would before. When we're in there before, we're like, this is just what it is. This is just a little brief stay. Yeah, we're just passing through, so we just hear this and that. But when you know that you're going to stay, like I took an just like I was looking at the things out in the streets, I was looking at the jail differently. I looked around the walls, you know, and I was in that holding cell. I was looking at the tagging. I was looking at the cochela. I was looking at on the wall, and I was looking at things, and I was like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, because there's always one in that holding cell, you know, and I was looking at it, and I was like, oh my God, you know, like, in the reality when it sits in, you're just like, fuck, this is it.
That's how it was driving back with the detectives from Phoenix to California, to Indio.
Yep.
I literally was looking out the side of the road, and I was taking in every single thing, because in my mind it was like, I'm never going to see any of this stuff again. I'm going to die in this bus.
Yep.
And I'm literally looking at everything passing by.
Yeah, that's what it's like. I hope we were able to like shed some light on that, Chubby Jessica. It's almost like you went terminal.
And the reality of it is, living in here the way that we did,
yeah,
that was our way of saying goodbye to the streets. Because the reality, we describe it and say it like it isn't much, but you spend the next 20 years of your life in a destructive path so that you don't have to face the reality that you had to say goodbye.
Well, that's what it is.
To your, you know?
Yeah, you escape your incarceration with drugs and violence.
Yep.
Politicking, gang violence, that's how you cope with that. You cannot sit and it's so hard for you to wrap your head around it. The time that Jesse and I are doing right now is fucking the hardest time that we probably ever had to do in our life.
Yep.
I've done time in the hole. I had an indeterminate shoe term, and I had an easier time, you know, until I'm used to my transition now. You know, I'm more used to it. I'm more comfortable, and I see the good in it, you know, in what I'm doing. But it's very different now is to face my demons. That's what we do. We lay here at night, and a lot of times when I'm up at 3 in the morning and I get up, Jesse's up too, tossing and turning. That's what we do. That's our life. You know, we got blood on our hands, and that affects us because we have an idea of the gravity of the crimes that we committed.
Uh-huh.
You know, I know what I did, and I think about it at night. You know, I think about what it would be like to be shot, you know, and to die like that, and know you're going to die, and know that I put somebody through that. I'm responsible for that.
That's like she said when she asked, what was I thinking in that picture? When I'm looking at those pictures,
it's like, man.
I'm thinking,
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
it's the chaos and the turmoil that was going on in my head every time I pulled up to a new prison.
Yeah.
Every time I had to take one of those pictures, I was coming to a new prison with a new level of chaos, and I was bringing a lot of it with me, the chaos. You know?
I looked at my eyes a lot. When I was looking at the pictures, I looked at my eyes a lot. I looked at yours too.
Yeah.
And the thing is, because that's how you can see, like, and you can see a lot of them, we're just blank.
Yeah.
We have a lot of shit going on in our mind, but it's kind of like, man, you know, there's just so many things. Like, there's always something that we had left to do when we got taken away. Jesse, I think you had your car out there still, or, you know, something was pulled over somewhere. I always had, like, somebody had this going on, that going on. Like, I had to go check on this homie. I had this to do, you know, and there was always something that was left behind.
Yep.
You know, and
unfinished business.
Yep. And it's almost like that's what keeps our ghosts alive, a ghost of addiction, huh?
Yep.
We never fix. You know how they say unfinished business when you die?
Yep.
It's the same thing. Like, you have unfinished business, the ghosts of the streets will never leave us.
Yep.
It stayed, you know, and we had to put it to rest ourselves. Say, you know what, this is a clean slate. Whatever happened, it's over, it's done.
You know what's ironic about that, though, is I say it now. I still believe that I'm young at heart to a certain extent. I still feel like, you know, I see a lot of dudes my age, and they look a lot more whooped than I do. But for years and years and years in here, I always said I'll be 21 for the rest of my life, and I felt it. I felt it. I'm looking at those pictures, and all those pictures, I felt 21. But I'm looking at some of those pictures James sent, and I can see myself slowly, gradually aging through those pictures, and I can tell you how I feel now and how I think now, and that forever 21, that doesn't it doesn't
resonate.
It's not like it doesn't resonate. There you go. Doesn't resonate with me. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like it's just a trip. You know what I mean? It's a trip because now, like you said, we have to face all those demons. We spent our whole life running from them, and now we have to face them completely. Because in order to overcome them and heal and move on from them or give them peace or whatever it is, we have to face them. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a journey for sure.
Remember Interview with the Vampire? Remember when Brad Pitt, when he would saying his last goodbyes to the daylight? It was on that scene, and Tom Cruise was right there. I forgot what his name was, Lauren or something. He was just waiting for him. He's like, "All right, are you done finishing saying goodbye to to your life?" And then bam, he was just taken right there by the madness, And that's what it is. Once you make a decision to let it go and to say goodbye to things that the streets were not a part of my life anymore. Prison became a part.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
It became a part of who I was at that point. My slate was clean. I had nothing left to lose, and I gave myself over to the madness. I became a freaking madman. I was already a madman, but I was something different at that time. And you could just see it in those pictures.
James.
Hey guys,
What's up, James?
you guys are gonna have to call back again, man. We got Monica. Man, she just dropped like 1,000,000 roses on us. She's making it rain. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but shit, we never had this happen in TikTok history on our channel, so I can't pull the plug now. What kind of person would I be?
No, it's a right. It's the Rose Parade, baby.
I'm there. You spark my interest. I'm there.
Hey, good looking out. I don't even know what to say. I like I said earlier on, nobody's ever dropped those type of roses, this way. But highly appreciate it. And they should be calling back right now. Once they call back, we'll go ahead and continue. We've been on already for 2 hours and 30 minutes so far. Whenever I'm on the phone with these guys, the time definitely flies by quickly. And there they are. The prison phone's ringing. Man, I wish I could pick up the prison phone right now, but I don't got it hooked up. But maybe the next time I'll go ahead and hook it up, and we'll go ahead and start picking up.
Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel-Link.
Hello.
What's up to James and what's up to Monica with the 1,000,000 roses?
Man, she just dropped 330 roses on TikTok over here. Agua, por favor.
Sure
that makes two of us.
You did hear that, huh?
Yeah.
You did hear that. Yeah, that was
courtesy.
You heard the agua, por favor, yeah, that's what happens when you live in your restroom.
Échale agua, por favor. Hey, so Monica made it rain at the Rose Parade.
Man, she just dropped it on us right now. She just laid it out. She just like bam, like at the club, just letting those the roses fall.
That's right. Big gracias for the rose, cariño.
Look, for Monica, I'm gonna encourage Jesse to twerk right now. I'm gonna turn my head though because I don't want to see this.
Yeah, I'm gonna twerk. Just throw the roses at the booty.
He doesn't look graceful when he does it. You just need to support him.
I need you to support him and just know that I'm dropping it like it's hot. keep them.
I'm gonna go to the door, keep trucha, and then I'm gonna talk to Felipe in the vent.
Hey, hopefully you guys are not in paper suits right now, because it's gonna be all bad.
We're not.
Hopefully you guys are not in paper suits.
Hey, you know what's crazy about the paper suits is like, okay, so you're chained up. You're chained up when you put that on. You're gonna be in chains for hours, man. I mean hours. You get on these bus rides, like, man, I was on a bus ride to New Folsom up in Sacramento. I think I left. Man, where did I go to New Folsom from? Yeah, I left Chino. Yeah, I left Chino to New Folsom, and man, that freaking bus. It was horrible, James. That's so long of a bus ride, man. And they have a restroom on the bus, but that restroom, like, you're chained up, you're handcuffed, and you got to go to the restroom. You got to walk down the you got to walk down the aisle, and you have to find a way to get you got to find a way to handle your business, And there's no, like, most people just tear a big old hole out of the front of the boxes. just kind of go, just do what you can.
Mm-hmm.
That's so usually when you roll up to an institution, the guys are walking in and they're wearing the blue jumpsuit or the red jumpsuit, and the whole bottom of it's torn out. You're just kind of like, it's kind of understood. It's like, all right, well, I know what happened there. Couldn't hold it.
Man, those things look like if you wet them, they'll just fall apart.
They're real thin, man. Those things are thin, and you sweat in them. They just feel weird. Putting them on, it almost feels like you're like, I don't know, you're just wearing like a small cloth over you, like a wet cloth or something. It's just disgusting, man. That's why we all look tired in our pictures. Did you have any? Go ahead.
I got another question from Cali, or sorry, my apologies, Khalifa boy. What do you think of condemned inmates going to regular prison program yards? And have you bumped into any condemned inmates yet?
Yeah, we have a lot of them here.
We have several of them here. One of our boys actually showed up here. It was up there on the road. Showed up here, Carlos. He's actually on the channel.
Yep.
I don't know when the last time you've interviewed him or not, James, but he's been on here.
Yeah. So I was surprised to see.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
They had sent the first wave of condemned inmates out on the pilot program. They met a certain criteria, and they had sent them out. So okay, so I have mixed emotions about it. Now, this is the thing. Carlos is my boy, and I know he's a good dude. He's not the same dude that came in. He's a Christian. He's in a good relationship. He's living upstanding on this yard. And he really has nothing to lose. He's sentenced to death. So he's just like, look, man, I found my faith, and he said he's just, whatever happens, he's going to live peacefully. So I can't take that away from him. I used to think about him because we fought our 187 cases together, and he had asked me a question, and it always haunted me because they offered him life without parole, and we sat down and had a long talk about it. He's like, dude, they're offering me life without parole, and they're willing to take the death penalty off the table right now if I sign this. What do you think I should do? And I told him because they do that commonly. I had a few cellies that went up to the row, and they usually get that offer. And so
to save the taxpayer money from not having to.
Yeah, that's $1 million trial,
Yeah.
Yeah. So he asked me, and I told him, dude, I would never take life without parole. They're not going to get you the death penalty. You're probably going to get LWOP anyway. At least, like, why would you prevent yourself from having any type of legal action on appeal?
And death row gets way better appeals than anybody else.
Yep. Yeah, they get like appeals lawyers. Their appeals automatic.
Yeah.
So I told him that, but when he actually, I don't want to say he took my advice because I know that he was wrestling with that himself, but I always felt like maybe I did influence him a little bit, because I told him he was out of his mind taking life without parole. Who wants to just give yourself, over for the rest of your life, And so he, without a fight, nothing. So, so he, but he ended up getting death row. So throughout the years, I would have people look him up, and he was on the San Quentin website, and I just seen him. They had the 700 and 714 and 754, something like that. People that are sentenced to death in California. It's in the 700s. So I seen Carlos's picture there as one of the people, you know, and he just, the look in his eye, man, he just looked like he was kind of scared, you know. And I just, man, it always haunted me. So when I got here to this prison, it blew my mind when I saw him walking down the tier. He actually came to the door looking for Jesse. He didn't know I was here. And so he looked in and he was like, what the fuck? You know, what are you doing here? I was like, what are you doing here? He said, well, he explained about that program, you know. So there's some weirdos here. I'll tell you right now, there's some freaking weirdos here. There's some dudes that are here that did some heinous shit, you know. And in my recovery, I have to, I don't agree with what they're here for, and I don't associate with them, but I have to keep in mind that I'm here to go home. I'm here to go home, and I'm here to just worry about myself and my family. But it's hard. It's hard knowing that, like, you know, yeah, there's somebody on the tier, and I think there's a dude here that barbecued a kid, or no, microwaved a kid or something. Did you hear that, Jess? Cooked them or something. There's some weirdo in one block. That's, yeah, like some heinous murder, dude. Like, took the kid all crazy, yeah. And so I think about it like, well, those people, you know, like, you know, like, really, like, I hope he gets freaking gassed. You know, firing squad, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. But I can't, but I just don't talk to him. I don't treat him different. You know, I just don't want to know him, you know. And there's a few other guys that are here for some weird shit too. So that's the only thing that I have in the...
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
There's dudes here that are here for like gang-related 187s, special circumstances, and they got the death penalty. And so I was a gang member. Jesse was a gang member. So we understand at least, you know, like, okay, how that happens. But I just have a harder time with the weirdos, you know. So many things like that.
But you know what, David? I'm gonna say something. So the real world, that's what it's like, you know. You know, these people, you know, they live next door, they live in your community, you know, they're probably a cashier at the grocery store you're working at or whatever, you know. Pretty much being in there, you know, and you being able to you know, not take it upon you to, you know, to inflict, you know, whatever you feel, you know, they have coming their way, makes it easier, you know, when you do come home, you know, to integrate back into society, because they're everywhere. You know, you can't get away from it. It's either in there, out here, but you don't see people out here, you know, taking it upon themselves and, you know, going out of their way to, you know, to take care of business. So
yeah, and that's the thing is, I made a decision. I'm not going to harm anybody else.
Yeah,
you know, I'm not going to do it. But I don't agree with their crimes. I don't agree with their, you know, who they were and whatnot. But I have some buddies here, like my boy Dan, and he looks the part, man. Dan was on death row for over 30 years, for a double 187 or something like that. You know,
yeah, they killed his boss. They killed his boss and burned him. Him and his kid.
What did he get DP'd for burning him, or for what did you burn him alive or something?
Yeah, torture, mutilation of course.
Yeah. So Dan. But when you see this guy, Dan he's a cool cat, man. He did that over 30-something years ago. He's been in since 81 or something like that.
No, Dan's been busted since like 97.
97?
Yeah.
But he did 30 years on death row.
No, he's got a K number.
Dan?
Dan.
White-haired
Dan, yeah.
I thought he came in at 81.
No, he looks like he came in.
Man, he would have had a C number in 81.
Yeah. I thought he did.
Yeah. No, he's been down since like 97, 96.
Well, how long is that? Is that 30 years?
No. But
30 years.
It's almost because
that's 30 damn years.
Yeah, it's 28 yeyears. Yep. Yeah, that is. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
17. Oh, about 27 years.
Oh, okay. That's a while.
Yeah.
I thought 2026 would be like...
Well, he probably fought his case for a while, though, low-key.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, he probably fought his case for a while.
Because he told me he was on the road for like 32 years or something.
Yeah, no, he wasn't up there for no 32 years. Because he got the late K number.
Oh wow, I almost had a late K number.
Yeah.
I had a P number before, but yeah. So Dan's he's an old guy. He's got gray hair, you know, but you would never know that he was here for death row, you know. None of these guys really. You can't, you know. Our neighbor downstairs, or Danny's below us, or
yeah,
he's a weirdo.
Trap killer and a baby killer.
Yeah. Yep.
Horrible.
Yeah, he's a weirdo, horrible person.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you just think like that.
Who are we to take his inventory?
How many people are in this building, Jess, that are here for death row? That you know right off the bat? In our building.
The other guy just left. The one that was downstairs, he just left.
What about the guy over here in the freaking C-section? C-section lower. In their weirdo down there just came from death row? Actually, he's pretty cool.
Who?
He's a dude that was a softball champion.
Yeah, he left. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay.
That's where Vic got his hill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was cool.
He was cool as hell.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he was
there's about 10 of them on this yard, though.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, so we got 10 guys from death row here right now. You know where they all went? I think they went to Donovan.
Yeah.
What else you got for us, James?
Okay, so I got a question from Norma K. She puts, "Hello, good show. Did they lose weight in his photos? How has adapting a healthy diet influenced your journey towards redemption and personal transformation while in prison?" Yeah, guys, I'm wondering about that.
I was just wondering about how when she said, "Did you lose weight?" in the photos, I was like, "Oh yeah," because she was on freaking. No, it's probably you. It's for both of us.
But Dave.
Oh, Dave? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, yeah. Well, I was on meth on a lot of my photos.
Yeah,
for sure.
Nothing healthy about the diet that caused him to lose that weight, that's for sure.
It was called abstinence of food. Yeah.
It's called the Crystal Light diet.
Yeah. And, yeah, so you could tell. You could tell right when I got out and right when I got back. You'll see me just, my ears were sticking out all crazy. Jesse was kind of like, Jesse was always kind of small, I guess. I don't know, like in the face.
Yeah.
But you can tell it's all drug related. When Jesse's healthy, he looks how he looks now. He's just regular.
But I just my face started getting even fatter though as I got older. I noticed, like if you see in the pictures, maybe it's because I didn't get sober until I got older.
That's just natural though.
Yeah.
That's just natural. We all gain a little bit of weight. What nutritional value in prison? Jess, you wanna highlight that because Jess is a dietitian.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Hey,
He's a dietitian. Go ahead.
So if you guys got it, we could run one more, which is make it the 3 hours. You know, we're already at 2 hours and 46 minutes. I'm not sure what your schedule is looking like if you guys have anything going on in the morning, but I got one more in me if you guys.
All right, we got it. We got one more in us. We got it.
One more. Let's rock out.
Let's rock
It's the
out.
first live you've done in a while, huh, James?
Yeah, no, I haven't been on. Well, we did the last live, so I did one with you when we were up in Prague, and then when I came back, I tried to do one, but it didn't work out. So yeah, I haven't done any.
Well, we had to give all of our peeps.
This is the debut. This is Dave and Jesse show debut.
This Dave,
The encore.
I'll call back right now.
All right. Yeah, so if you're new here, if this is the first time you ever come across the stream, previous to the last few weeks, I normally was doing I was trying to do lives on a daily basis or every other day. I was doing them a lot more, and so whenever I have the opportunity, I'll do them. But right now, I took a break. All right.
Esta es Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Yes, sir.
All right.
What you got for us?
So let me see. Let me see what I got. So I got the last comment on here. I got it from Los M. He writes, "James, you're a hater." Ching Gators. I am. Shit, I didn't even know.
Wait a minute, why? Why? What are you hating on, Jay?
I don't know.
What are you hating on?
That's what I want to know.
Who
That's the
said
meaning.
that? Who?
Hey,
Los
you was
M.
hating on you. Los M. Hey, you were hating on something.
I
I
was
want to know what it is.
apparently, maybe apparently I was, but yeah, I'm not sure what Los is referring to. I'm not sure what I'm hating on, but um,
Well, I think Jesse twerking was probably what triggered that. I saw your look.
Yeah, it's probably
Yep,
gave me the
I
hater
did.
look.
I
when
saw
you-
that.
when you popping it.
Yep, Jesse was popping it all crazy, and you were just right there hating on him.
yeah.
That's weird. Who is this lost character? Tell I said beat it.
I'll beat it, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
Wow.
cool, man. Hey, remember, to all the listeners out there, free Derek Snowden. That's what we're trying to do. Free Derek Snowden. Check him out. Hit him up on his tablet. We'll try to get him on. This man says he is innocent of his crime. He is sentenced to die in prison. His CDCR number is S35089. Add yourself to his tablet. Ask him what the hell. But, hey, so I said my piece.
There it is, and let me see. So yeah, so let me see. Let me look at the other any other comments here. Let me see. Oh, so we got another one from Chubby Jessica. She writes let me see. You found that having a mustache has a effect on how others perceive you in prison.
Absolutely.
The brocha is legendary in prison.
Absolutely. If we had a mustache like James, I can actually grow a mustache kind of like James. Not necessarily not as whipped out as James, but yeah, growing a brocha, a push broom we call in here, the brocha, it's legendary. That's part of the costume. That's part of the uniform in here. You know, being a pintero, a veterano, a cholo. You know, your mustache is it's definitely it's a trophy up in here.
Yeah, the brocha is a staple of prison life.
Yep, and people actually converse about, you know, hey man, that dude got a nice whip. And you know what I mean? Like, it's funny, you know, like people talk about cars on the streets. They talk about your mustache in prison like
Hey,
that.
right now, beards are a thing.
Yeah, beards are
There's a
definitely.
gang of dudes that got beards right now. Like
That's
that.
horrible. I got this Abraham Lincoln beard. I can't even grow a full beard.
He's been rocking this thing though.
Yeah,
I told him.
trying.
I told him to let me line him up. You know, like line the beard up, let him get that Boricua look, but he's not feeling it.
And mine doesn't grow in full enough to line up like that.
I can give him a little pencil beard. You know what I mean?
But I'm seeing
Michael
those
beard.
pictures you sent me, James. I'm seeing the little collage you sent me, and I kind of feel like low key I want to shave my head and shave my beard off again. Not to go back into that place, but I just feel like it makes me look younger. I'm looking at myself with hair and with the beard and everything, and I'm like, man, that shit just makes me look old.
I think Jesse looks dignified with his beard and his hair.
Distinguished.
He looks distinguished and dignified. Absolutely. This is professional. This is professional Nava right here. Like, he's a pro. You know, this is a guy that you can take home to mom. You know, that other guy, you take him home, he'll leave with mom.
Mom's purse, one or two.
Yeah. Yeah, come on, that's still mom's purse. That's what he'll do.
Yeah.
But no, it's what it is. Yeah, but James, you got a rockin' prison mustache, man.
Yeah.
Honestly.
You know
almost
what?
like a freaking
Go ahead. Go.
like a prop. It's like a prop. It's like one of your props you have.
So a little while ago, Scorpio Rising put a comment on here, and I kind of chuckled when I read the message. I'm trying to find it. On here. Let me see where it's at. I gotta scroll up because it was a little bit higher up on the chat here. Okay, and she writes, James, I feel like I feel like you secretly wish that you were in prison. Maybe you were in a previous life and you feel like getting back to your roots.
That is pretty funny.
I concur with her on the previous life.
Yeah.
I think James was in prison in the previous life.
Yeah, I used to think that I died in the Vietnam War because I used to be like all obsessed with like war movies and all that shit. But James was
opened up San Quentin.
James was American me. Remember when Cheyenne got thrown off the chair or something?
Yeah.
What was his name in the movie? What the hell was his name?
Mundo.
Mundo was his name?
Mundo.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was James.
Yeah, Mundo.
Who's the guy that got hit during? Remember he got hit while he was getting tatted on or something? He was lifting weights.
Pie face.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Right, so what happened, Vince?
You know what? I just think it's just based on where I come from. I think a lot of the people around me went down that path.
Three-way llamada.
And for whatever reason, speaking to people like yourself, like you gentlemen, I feel comfortable around. Like when I'm at work,
Yeah.
like I don't got anything in common with those people at work. Like we're from two different worlds. Like if they knew like where I came from, they'd be like, "What?" I'm pretty sure they already suspected, when they look at me. But like we have nothing in common. Like we can't. They're like we come from two different worlds. You people come from here, and I come from there. I'm like the odd man out at work, so I can't relate to them.
And the thing is too, though, is once you get like that's what's so hard on us is because once you experience people like us, like Jesse, like me, like people in here, like we're some good motherfuckers. Like we've had some issues in the past. We're here for doing fucked up things in the past, but
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
and this is where we're at, and unfortunately, it kind of sticks with you. When, like James, like you have people like you grew up within your environment, and they're in this environment. They're. This is where it's at right here. Where this is where all those people are at, and so it gets kind of hard. Like you kind of are a part of two worlds. You're a part of that world, but you're also a part of this world. And thank God that you don't have to go through like the pain and the suffering that we go through. But I think a part of you always does. Once you get bit by people like us, man, it's kind of hard. You're gonna always, and that was the same thing that happened with me. Once I experienced like the 180 level 4s, I came to prison at 18 years old, and it changed my life. I met people that will never go home, and it's just like, man, you see who they are, and you feel their pain, and a part of you will never leave. It's hard to explain to people that don't understand that.
Yeah. You know what? I like a while back, Jesse had asked me like what was how was I able not to go down the same path as you? And I think the difference between me and you guys is that for me, I was able to avoid confrontations, and as far as you guys welcome confrontations, and you guys wanted to settle it like right then and there, opposed to me, like, nah, I didn't want nothing to do with that shit. If somebody wanted to smoke me, I'm not trying to, I wasn't trying to deal with that stuff. So I think that's one of the things that helped me avoid, going down that route.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's funny that you say that, James, because that's the tool that we're just now learning to develop. You know what I mean? And that's consequential thinking. That's prioritizing. That's the reality. Is like all day long we can handle all the problems we want right now, but the reality is like I don't want to. I don't have to. I'm not gonna. There's nothing to be gained from it. So it's great that you learned that at a younger age, and it took us to be in our 40s. You know what I mean? To come to that understanding that like, what the hell am I doing? I don't have to deal with things like this. It doesn't even have to be a problem. I don't have to give this situation any power over me.
I have nothing left to prove.
I have nothing left to prove to anybody. I spent my whole life trying to prove myself to myself and everybody else, and as a result of it, a lot of people got hurt, including myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's good that you understood that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's good. because it's powerful. Like straight up, bro. I'm gonna be straight up with you. I feel powerful now when I have the ability to deal with a situation in a pro-social way instead of. And I still feel some kind of way, and I still react some kind of or respond some kind of way with aggression sometimes. But when I'm able to deal with the thing diplomatically and move away from a situation, I righteously feel empowered because I'm like, damn, it felt good not to have to. Like I could think of all the ways that should have went bad. And I didn't allow it to go there. And that dude can act how he wants to act. I can't control how anybody else acts. All I can do is control how I respond to the situation.
That's it.
And so that's awesome that you were able to do, come to that term. That shit made you a man is what it is. You know what I mean? Like dealing with those situations the way we did, we're like children. Children are emotional and impulsive. They have no impulse control. So you put them in a situation, they throw fits, they throw tantrums, they fight, they bite, they scream, they pull hair, they do crazy things. And that's exactly how we were acting like that. But when you're man enough to say, I'm cool, I don't want none of this weird ass shit. Don't bring this drama to me. I got a life to live.
And look what it comes down to at the end of the day. Like we did all that shit, right? We put in hella work. We did things, James. You know that, And at the end of the day, we still have some fucking losers coming on here saying, "Oh, that we couldn't hang on the main line." It's like what the fuck, like.
And you're gangbanging on the street.
I was a madman on the main line. Like, do you see my fucking paperwork, James? It's like really like. Out of all that shit, it's like, and that's what you got from that? it's like, is that, you can never do enough. And that's what it is. There's always something that you feel like you have to prove over there. You can never stop. You just destroy your freaking life over and over and over again. Just what? So some weirdo won't come on and be like, oh, well, yeah, you with it, you down. Like, are you serious?
The vatos are with the business.
The vatos are with the business, homie. Them are the camaradas right there. That fool speaks Nava. Like, who gives a fuck? Like,
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
It's just ridiculous. It's so small-minded.
That fool did his tiempo in the chancla, homie.
Yeah, like, are you serious? You probably think shoe is spelled S-H-O-E. Yeah. He's in a shoe program. What?
He's in the hashtag Reebok.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. Like, are you serious? Like, is this what we're doing here? I gotta prove something to you too?
Yeah.
TikTok weirdo?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. It's just different, man. And I don't. It's so embarrassing. That's why I said that earlier. Even just looking back at them pictures, like, damn, man. Like, I'm fucking so smart, man. And how can I be so stupid? Such a waste of time. But I don't know how much longer we got. I'm sure it's gonna cut off pretty soon.
Could have been doctors or lawyers.
No, I'm serious. Yeah, we're fucking dude. We're kicking ass in school. I'm a smart motherfucker, and it's like, dude, really?
We got
my time with them freaking dudes.
About 2 minutes.
Hey, well, I'm gonna give a special shout out, man, to my beautiful wife for putting up with all my bullshit all the time. I find my strength in you. You are my foundation. And also to all the listeners. Monica with 1,000,000 roses. We salute you. El Iceman, Fish Layer SoCal. Alifas. I don't want to leave no one out. Lex Lude.
Chubby Jess.
Yeah, Bruce Willis. Long K.
Got to send, likewise, send a shout out to all the loved ones, everybody that's faithfully listening.
We had somebody from Washington.
Yeah, Washington.
Washington.
Washington. Lavadora.
Oh,
the lavadora.
Beto 559, and there was another 559 on there too.
Yeah, Beto 559.
Yeah, can't forget you. Thank you for hearing us out, man, and thank you for anybody that takes an interest in Derek Snowden's case.
Yep, taking interest in Big D's case.
Yep, we'll try to get
Jessica for always asking.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Hey, hit him.
Cal.
Yeah.
Cal Fish Slayer.
Thank
you for tuning in, bro. We're going to give you a holler this weekend.
Yeah.
See how things are going back at the home front.
Hey, remember, hit him up, James. Hit him up on his tablet and just let him know you heard the story and stuff and you want to see what he wants to do,
Yeah, Derek. For sure. I'll go ahead and hit him out.
Hey, thank you.
We got to send a shout out to James's wife too for the pie and the bottle of water. Gracias. Brazo Camati.
Say the thing though, life is like a box of chocolates. Never chose gonna get.
Hey,
can't know the win. Say your thing.
Hey, you guys know, like I say around here, life's like a box of chocolates. Hell, no, not a box of chocolates. Life's like a candle. Once you blow it out, it lights out. And with that,
eso.
we are out.
Buenas noches.
Buenas
Buenas
noches.
noches.
Despensa en la tira.
Toasty!